Hi everybody, and welcome back to StorytellerSpira's channel, our Tuesday night Vampire the Masquerade game, our ongoing New Orleans by Night campaign. We are on to lucky episode number 13, and one that I expect and hope to be quite a doozy. So, strap in, this should be fun. Other than that, how are all of my lovely players this evening?
So good.
Wow.
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 For the audience, I don't know why we're just starting all of this with Owen Wilson's wow, but what do you expect from us? Let's get a little music going.
If it's anything other than Owen Wilson's wow, then
Not
I
a
don't
stream
know
would
why,
start.
why you expect much of us.
I really
What else do you
even
want?
you watch us if not for that.
It's the only reason I feel okay if a stream just goes off the rails. I'm like, eh. We have fun here.
That's what we do.
And how are everybody in the audience? How's everybody who's watching doing tonight? Let us know. We are always happy to have you around while we, continue being adults playing make-believe. Because what else would you do with your life?
Nothing.
I have a kitty.
Sleep, because then you can just be make believe in your dreams.
Good point. Alright, so we are picking up from last episode, episode 12, ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. Unfortunately, we had a couple weeks break, so I will try to give a bit of a longer summary of the overarching information you guys have gathered so far, as well as relate how last game went. So, as far as all of you understand from your investigations, there have been a suspicious number of kindred and humans that have gone missing in the city. Prince Marcel basically asked, provided the information to you guys, asking you to look into some of the names that have been reported missing, and also provided you with information on a witness that the New Orleans Special Task Force, basically a small group of hunters in the police department, had in their custody. So Roxy, Bjorn, and Abraham reached the witness in his safe house and got his story. Basically, he had been attacked by a vampire, and he saw him escape in a black sedan with New York plates. Besides that, they don't really understand why this information was so important, or why the witness was actually relocated to the safe house out in the woods. But just before they were able to get out of there, Roxy and Bjorn agreed to meet with two Lupin, who accosted them, for safe passage in their territory. We'll follow up on that later. At the other warehouse, where the group had discovered bodies were being taken, Rebecca, Dinah, Abraham, Theo, and the Brewhud Jake attempted to act as though they were delivering kindred to try and, get a little more information on who was here. To make a long story short, one of the kindred in charge, Hector, was entranced by Dinah and told the gang, including Bjorn, who had shown up by this point, that the bodies are going to an auction in which the captured kindred and recently embraced humans are being sold for diablerie, or basically sucking out their soul for extra power. The gang are also now aware that there are two humans in the basement of the warehouse below them. While they continued to argue over their next move, and Luther had shown up very upset with his group of friends here, Bjorn and Theo proclaim that they're heading down and they're taking care of things. So, as is tradition, we'll just go around for a second or two and just see what your current thoughts are now that you've got a nice little refresher. So, let's start with... let's say Rebecca and Dinah. Like, you can even kind of answer together. You had started the plan. Now you understand what's going on in the warehouse. What are you thinking?
Dinah is
wanting the downstairs to get cleaned out. Honestly, she kind of wants to help with that, but also that's not like the best use of her time at the moment. So she bloodbound Hector, and honestly she's kind of waiting on the downstairs to resolve a bit before she can receive consequences from the prince, eventually. She is she feels real bad that she pissed off Luther. Like, she feels real bad about it. And now she has this absolutely hateful person bloodbound to her who she absolutely plans on killing eventually, but is useful for now. So, yeah.
Rebecca's intention is to leave kind of as soon as possible. She doesn't really like what's going to happen downstairs. She was told not to go down by Abraham in exchange for a story, which she is much more eager to get to than to perhaps listen to whatever's happening downstairs.
Let's ask Abraham, who got a little bit dragged along to this to help the story.
Yeah, I know what's about to go on downstairs. I don't think anyone should really witness it. Like, not hugely happy that Bjorn and Theo are doing it at all, but like, I understand why, so I'm not fighting it. But I'm just glad that that Rebecca is not fighting me on going down there, because it's not something people should see.
Right. Oh, that's right, Rebecca, you did want to go down, at least you said last game.
Yeah, and then I closed the door and said no.
Yep.
And she's like, okay, but tell me a story.
Right, perfect. Theo and Bjorn, my renegades that are about to go knock some heads in.
I'll put it very straightforward and simply. There's a pile of refuse downstairs, and I'm going to go take out the trash.
Theo would call it rot that's about to be cut off the corpse, but same thing.
Alright, and last but not least, Luther, late to the party. But you are aware of what's going on now. You know there's a couple humans downstairs, as well as some kindred, that are probably the ones that brought them there. And Theo and Bjorn want to go charging ahead. The rest are standing around very uncomfortable with the whole situation.
Yeah, he's kind of like a big ball of emotions right now. One, he's soft-hearted, so like he doesn't like seeing violence, and then he saw someone get like their neck just like snapped, which already on top of the fact that he was like talking to the prince and said, all right, yeah, I'm going to try and get them out of there so you can handle this your way. It's your city. And then that got like pushed out of the side. And then just like him talking to Dinah about being safe and things like that. And then her lying to him. So it was just a big fuckaroo of feelings going on with him.
A big fuckaroo. I don't normally name the episodes, but I'm tempted.
That's a saying, right? We could just write it. We're good. We got it.
It's a saying now.
It is. I'm good for that. Alright. So we are in the warehouse, which, as I described previously, is in kind of an industrial park area. There are some other buildings, but they all look similarly abandoned, unused as much as this one did. It's not very large. It seemed to have about 2 stories, where the first story windows were blocked out. Second, it didn't seem like they cared about it. The windows were broken in, boarded up, just an absolute mess. Inside the warehouse, there had only been a single trash can with a bit of a hobo fire burning in it. Just some random, like boxes and things that the 2 ghouls and, or 3 ghouls had been sitting on when you first arrived. It's about 30 to 40 feet by 60 to 70, mainly kind of just a storage building. There is a staircase that goes up to the 2nd floor, and there's a door that you figured out leads to a staircase heading down. At this point, you know that there is at least one kindred downstairs, but it sounded like probably a couple more. And there is some loud, like thumping heavy metal music being played from down there. Otherwise, the scene, besides the 6 of you, includes Jake, who was standing by a back table with Rebecca. There is an unconscious is technically correct ghoul under the table, but Jake didn't, give him so much of a light tap against that brick wall, so who knows what's going on inside his anatomy. The other ghoul had his neck snapped, and there was a third. I forget what happened to the third rando. I think he's also dead. Doesn't matter. So otherwise, and then there's Hector, who is still nearby Dinah. And away we go.
I don't exactly remember. Did I leave the building, or am I like in the parking
you
lot?
left.
I think
now?
you at least
I know I walked
stepped
out.
out. Yeah, I don't think you
okay.
actually left in your car yet. Kind of felt like, stuck there. You wanted to make sure everyone was okay, but like needed to get away from the dead dropping bodies.
For sure. Yeah, I'll be like outside the door, probably just like hunched over trying to catch some air or whatever I would. I obviously don't need to breathe or anything, but yeah.
Old habits die hard.
So we're dealing with people upstairs first?
It's just Hector.
No, I mean like the us that are upstairs as opposed to the us that are downstairs.
Well, nobody went downstairs yet.
Oh,
We started down. the
Yeah,
stairs.
they
Okay.
definitely did because I held the door after them. Like I
Okay,
Closed-
I
I
forgot
heard-
like the last 5 minutes of the game.
so
So did all of us. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. And basically, I'd probably just put my hand on Bjorn's shoulder just for a second as like a hold up. Let's see if anyone else is coming down, so we don't have to worry about both directions. Just seeing if anyone who's upstairs does actually try to follow. So we probably wait for a moment.
The door shuts.
Hector. Yeah.
All right. Fun fact, this song is called Basement Floor. Does anybody else remember if I said that Hector was going to follow them? Or if he's staying upstairs?
Yeah, I
I'm
thought he
pretty
was
sure he's
with-
staying
he's
upstairs.
staying
That's what
with
I
Dinah.
thought.
Yeah.
Well, wait, Hector is the person that is awed by Dinah.
Odd and
Yes.
bloodbound now, yeah.
Well, I mean that's what I think was happening right then, is he was
Yeah.
staying up to get bloodbound.
No, I thought, wasn't the bodyguard that...
Jake is going with you.
Does he actually... That's what I'm saying. We stopped and wait. Did he actually
Yes.
try to follow us
Jake
down
is going to
there?
follow you down. So, Jake, the Bruja that has essentially been assigned as an unofficial bodyguard for Rebecca after Luther won sort of a bet, won an investigation, as it were, is, agrees basically with Bjorn and Theo that there's trash downstairs, it needs to be taken out. That said, as the three of you descend the stairs, the space in this lower floor is same dimension as above. As far as you can see, it is very, very dark. There are actually only two kind of like old school lanterns on a couple tables. So it is pretty difficult to make out finer details. However, you immediately smell a thick scent of blood in the air. But it's actually kind of old. It smells more like it's dried blood that's been spattered on the walls and the floor. Doesn't smell like someone was freshly feeding or draining anyone of anything. As you continue down, let's have a perception alertness roll to see what you can make out.
So, really quickly before we get into that,
Yep.
the very first thing I'd do after we realize who's coming with us is I would pop Protean 4 to turn into a giant gray wolf while we were on our way downstairs.
Fair.
Theo would follow suit about one step behind him.
Alright. Alright, mark down that you're spending 1 blood. And okay. You will have to spend 1 blood. It does take
Is this before or after dog?
It will be before, because I wanted you to see what you can see while you're going down the stairs.
And just difficulty 6.
No, difficulty 7.
And that'll be 2 successes.
So I gotta get my windows fixed.
Well then.
6 successes.
Let me go ahead and roll for Jake.
Jesus, cost that roll.
I know. I was like,
That was
look,
sexy.
come on. It's gonna be one of us is gonna get like a 0 success.
Isn't that
The
typically
GM
you?
was the one.
No, I got a botch.
She
I just
did
want a
get
vampire to like fall out of the door and its head explodes.
His eyes explode because you looked so hard.
So, Bjorn, as you start making your way down the stairs and you expend some of your vitae to complete the transformation into a giant grey wolf, you said? Alright. You take a look over the railing into the darkness. By one of the lamps in the further back corner, you can actually sort of make out the shapes of the 2 humans chained to a wall. From here, and without a little more time, you can't make out if they're alive or not, but they are laying slack with their arms, up in chains. They're just kneeling on the ground. Besides them, you can make out a tall, quite attractive, dapper looking, maybe like 30-year-old man. Even just the clean cut of his suit seems so unsuited to this area. All of the blood and the dirt and the dust in the warehouse. Other than that, you can make out the shadows of 3 other figures. You can kind of make out that there's probably 2 men, and it looks like a young woman with longer hair. but you become focused on, you know, turning into your form, and you just want to deal with these fuckers, so you don't make out that much more. Theo, you see the humans, and similarly, you're just not 100% sure their health condition, but they don't look corpsey. They're not white. They have still some color to their skin. You make out the one man that's leaning on a table nearby them, and you can further make out that there are definitely two other men. One is very large with a short blonde haircut. One is a little, well, smaller in comparison to him, but has a little muscle on him, longer blonde hair, and a young woman with long, almost kind of white hair. She's sitting on a chair. The other two are just standing near her. As I mentioned, while you're running down, you hear this, you know, heavy, bassy music that seems to be coming from a speaker off to the side. And as you continue down a little bit more, if you do look in the direction of the humans, you can see just old piles of rags that are heavily stained with blood and dirt. There even look to be maybe some bones by their feet. It's a little unclear, but whatever's going on over there almost looks like a bit of a makeshift torture chamber altar. Though nothing otherwise ceremonial or religious going on. As you guys descend and begin turning into your animal forms, Thea, what was yours again?
Oh, he looks like sort of disease-ridden, has some holes in his flesh and some of his skin sloughing off, like an Irish wolfhound.
Alright, as you two descend, you're taking a look out into this room, you turn into your animal forms, and Jake, behind you, is so shocked. He wasn't exactly ready for this. He didn't think Thea would be able to do this at all, even if he expected Bjorn to do something with Protean, that he actually kind of slips his footing on the stairs. He doesn't fall, but he has to grip the railing, and he just kind of belts out a couple curses, trying to get himself steady again. So...
Tried to play cool soldier boy with the grown-ups, made a fool of yourself, son.
So on stream is the man by the two humans. There's the young woman. The larger guy with the short blonde hair. And the other guy with longer, messier blonde hair.
With my role, could I tell maybe, if there's, are the two guys off to the side maybe guards and Mr. Dapper's the leader?
Let me look at your sheet. I rolled to be sure, but I'm gonna say with your wits, you get a good feeling that this guy, just his distance and aloofness regarding the others, his outfit, even just kind of a sense of age around him, makes you think that, yeah, if anyone is a leader here, it's probably this guy. As a quick note, the larger guy with the short blonde hair is the one that came up the stairs a little earlier.
Real quick clarification just before we get started. The vicissitude cannot be used in Shape of the Beast. I'm assuming we're probably going to take Thanatosis along the same line.
Yes. I think that has to be a physical touch that would fall under the same sort of ruling.
Yep, just making sure before we get started.
Yep. So as you come bounding down the stairs, the three younger looking ones, the blonde boys and the white-haired girl, stand up in surprise and, you know, trying to make out exactly what the hell is going on. Luca the darker skinned one, I'm just gonna use his name, even though you don't know, because it's easier than the guy.
I mean, it's not written right there. So.
I know, I'm just saying, it sounds better story-wise if I keep saying, the guy with this colored hair. So, Luca stands up from the table, but doesn't move as immediately as the others.
Bjorn is going to take several steps forward. The hackles rising up and begin growling very deep in his throat.
I'd say we could just go ahead and get our initiative out of the way now.
I was going to say that. I just wanted one more reaction. Wanted to see if you did anything specific.
Theo's reaction was he saw the bodies and this posh, clean-looking motherfucker, and he's now in full rage mode.
Fair enough.
So the nearest throat that, isn't chained to a wall.
Alright. So for both of you, it's 1d10 plus your dex and wits. Let me gather everything for my guys.
God damn it! So I rolled a 1, so I only have 9 for initiative.
I got a 14.
Well, talk amongst yourselves. I gotta do math.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Math is for nerds who does math. Nobody does math.
Yeah, just make it up.
Yeah, just pretend. Make believe.
Yeah.
This is a make
You're an
Theo,
ST. Do whatever you want.
Theo, you get the pretty one, I'll get the fat one.
I think that the fat one's very attractive, so I'm not
Right?
sure what you.
Pretty.
Basically-
I didn't say cute. Come on now. That is a pretty boy. Or I'm reversed, so that is a pretty boy.
I think what he was trying to do was assert that they would fight over both women.
Guys, you're not even going to talk to him? What if this is just a huge misunderstanding? I feel like we're not...
Definitely bodies chained on the wall.
Oh my god, we need a sitcom moment of like, this isn't what it looks like.
I'm just saying, we don't
As far
know the
as Theo's
whole
concerned, if you could manage to get yourself in a situation where you look this guilty, doesn't matter.
All I'm saying is, what if... So let's say you guys killed them, and their bodies are on the floor. Then the prince's men come in and see you guys standing over bodies. It would be the same thing.
So here is the grand flaw in that entire statement. Bjorn has had military training, and Bjorn is now in storm the room mode. Therefore, that kind of logic doesn't come into things. It's a little bit more of a shoot first, sort it out after situation.
I don't know. I would like to see a laugh track with this.
For sure.
All right.
He's like an awkward silence.
I was just trying to decide, because the traditional one is you all announce, it goes backwards, the worst person makes the move, and then we go again, or would you guys prefer just in order?
I mean,
Well, I thought the advantage of having the highest initiative is you know what everyone does ahead of you.
Okay, good. In that case, Luca is actually the lowest. Luca... Alright, one sec. Yeah, it's on the right on. Hold on.
Y'all ready to murder some people?
I'm not ready.
Murderize them?
I'm not ready.
Hey, me either. Nice.
He was a little sad that we've gone this long. His stomach for atrocity has worn thin over the years.
Alright, from what you see, Luca is going to make a bit of a dash into the darker area of the room, and it looks like that darkness is starting to move a little funny. Following that is Bjorn.
Pounce Luca. Grab throat, tear throat.
Theo?
Oh, and I'm gonna spend a blood point for a celerity action to shoot, grab throat harder, tear harder throat.
Fair enough.
Did everyone roll better than me and Bjorn?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay, you didn't do the plus. That's why it looked great. Anyway, who's the closest person to me?
Emma, the girl that was sitting on the ground, or was on a chair, she was pretty close to the stairs.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go for tearing one of Emma's arms off.
Fair enough. Alright, the last two... Well, it's Emma, Garrett, and Colt. Emma, the girl with the white hair, and Colt, the very big guy. Seeing Theo make his lunge... Actually, Emma's gonna see you lunging at her, and Colt is gonna see Bjorn heading toward Luca as he begins running. They're each, in turn, going to pull out their protean claws and react with a attack back.
Remember how stupid fast Bjorn and I are.
Yeah.
We just have to kill them before the reinforcements get on top of us. This won't go poorly. So
Oh no, I was just rubbing my eyes at the fact that they're all apparently gang.
Two
Except for
of them
the-
are gangrel.
No, wait.
And
I
I
thought you
should
said
know-
all three pulled their claws out.
No. Emma and Colt do. Garrett, the guy with the slightly longer, messy blonde hair, actually seems to be backing up away from all of this.
Gotcha, sorry.
He does not initiate any kind of action.
Also, I am going to be careful about eye contact. So no looking into eyeballs. Where, as far as I can, I'm keeping my head down.
Alright, so I'm gonna roll for Colt and Emma on their brawl attack. Alright, Colt dives. Aiming at Bjorn's giant wolf form, trying to slash at anything that would really, put him down. Kind of aiming for the throat, but really anything he can do. But the bulk of his weight and the surprise of the attack seems to really throw him off. And he just slashes right in front of the air of Bjorn's fur, catching nothing. Emma actually sees Theo coming and moves fast enough out of her way to do quite a bit of damage. Theo, what is your stamina and any fortitude you have?
Stamina 5, fort 4. Sorry, 3.
Ooh, 1 second. Alright, and that is, I believe, aggravated. Yeah. Okay, Alright, so Theo, you can only roll your fortitude for your soak. Because it is aggravated damage. I wanted to double check that. I don't have you guys against aggravated very often.
How do you roll soak again?
You just roll your number of fortitude, so 4 dice. And it'll be difficulty 6.
Only 1 success.
Alright. So that'd be 1.5. And your 1 success would take off 1, so half a mark on that then. That'll put you just like at bruised. So now, Theo, you can take your action.
She just clawed me?
Yeah, she had feral claws out, Protean.
Yeah.
And she took a slash into like your chest, so she got like a little bit right on your shoulder.
How high can my strength go? The 7th gen to 6, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna pump 2 blood points into strength. And I'm gonna bite this bitch's arm.
Alright, go ahead.
Whatever body part she has close. Center mass. Whatever's closest to me, I'm getting a hold of it.
Okay, go ahead and roll for that then.
Dex and Brawl?
Yes, so that'll be for your successes, and then we'll do for your actual attack.
Difficulty 6.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, strength and brawl.
Alright, same thing. Hold on, roll 20, having some issues. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
You said strength and brawl?
Yes.
Nothing.
You dive at Emma, but because she had reached out to hit you with like a really outstretched arm, at keeping her mask kind of a little behind her. As you lunge out to snap at her torso, shoulder, whatever you could get a hold of, she does manage to just pull back in time. Bjorn, your turn.
So I'm also going to put 2 blood to bump my strength up to 6. Well, technically 7. And going to tear the throat out of Lucas. He's trying to run away from me like a little bitch.
I mean, technically, wouldn't it be his spinal column since he's running?
It depends on how it all works out, but going for the neck, yes. Yes.
Maybe you'll get his liver. Then I can tell you exactly what happens.
Maybe you could get a fatality. Just tear the whole thing right out. It's fine. Someone's got to make up for the shitty rolling.
Only 2 successes.
Okay.
I think the dice gods are telling us something. We need new characters.
Alright, you're going to land your hit. So go ahead and roll for your damage.
That'll be 3 successes.
Okay, Luca takes 1 damage.
I just lightly, kind of like, lightly stroke the back of his neck with my...
An ag can't be healed by spending blood points, right?
It can, but it takes time. It's not immediate, like bruising and lethal can be fixed up.
So the fact that this whole room is just doing ag damage is bad.
Well, 2 of them are. So Luca takes 1 damage at this point.
Is that bodyguard guy just standing there dumbfounded?
I completely forgot to roll for Jake. He got a botch though, so we'll say he makes it down the stairs for the 2nd turn.
Okay. That's what I figured. He botched and was being an idiot.
Ooh. Alright, so Luca was trying to summon up something spooky from the shadows, but the bit of a good chump that Bjorn gave to him threw him off, and you can see where the shadows started moving and shimmering a little, seemed to suddenly dampen down back to the normal darkness of the room.
And so that should be my celerity action now?
Yes.
Going to just more noms.
Alright, go ahead.
The fuck is up with the dice rolls tonight?
Nice.
1 hit, 1 success.
That is 10
No,
dice.
no, it's
and
a
3
success.
ones.
I got a success.
Yeah, but it's still 10 dice and 3 ones.
Nope, Luca manages to
That was just to hit. I didn't roll the wound.
Oh, right. Yeah, go ahead and roll your strength then.
Alright, that'll be 4.
3. Which is halved. I'll let you take another 1 out of him. Because he's fucking up.
Halved. I'm doing ag.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, we all
So
got
actually...
ag, except him, I think.
Yeah,
So,
so Theo
mine
gets a
is
full...
ag.
He takes 2. Back upstairs. Rebecca?
Hey.
What?
I was just.
Oh, okay. back upstairs. Rebecca, Dinah, Abraham, Luther, maybe not as much since he's still sort of outside, but probably you can hear a little bit. You can start to make out some of the ruckus that's going on. From what you can hear over the music, it sounds like a couple very, very large canines are, scraping along the concrete floor down there. There's definitely some physical damage being done. You can hear some boots running around as well. And at least a few really sharp, painful gasps from a couple people. It does sound like maybe Theo lets out a pretty solid grunt at one point.
So, kind of as soon as the ruckus would have started, Rebecca would have tried to get out of that area.
I am going to grimace, but I'm staying next to the door.
Abraham.
Yes.
Can we take a walk?
I would very much love to, but if someone other than Theo and Bjorn leaves that basement, I must be here to make sure that they do not get very far.
So, I shouldn't see what's happening down there, but hearing it.
I will follow you. I do not want to hear this either, but it would be... I am worried someone wrong might come up.
Dinah,
someone that could then hurt the rest of us.
Dinah, as you're hearing this and Rebecca and Abraham begin discussing the concept of what exactly is going on here, Hector, standing next to you, starts to show a bit of a wavering attitude. Like, he still wants to please you, but he wants to go downstairs.
What's in this room?
Just a trash can that still has a small fire going in it. Few boxes, like crates that were used as seats around it. There is the table off in the corner across from the door where the one unconscious ghoul is under. There is a ghoul with a snapped neck, kind of on the ground, not too far from the door leading down the basement, and just a couple other little odds and ends.
Perhaps if we barricade the door, then Theo or Bjorn can text me if they are the ones that make it up. Which I expect that they will be. And then I do not have to hear this.
We can go out and watch the door. Go outside and watch the door.
Yes, I would like this. So yeah, I will. I will need a hand. I'm leaning against the wall right now.
Rebecca will go over and help you.
Much appreciated.
Okay. Are you just going to use the crates and the table?
No, I think we're just watching the door.
We're going outside the warehouse.
We're going to go keep it so that there's a line of sight on the door, but we don't have to. So we don't have to hear it.
All right. As you head out, Hector trails behind like a puppy that sees, a treat at once, but also wants to be with Master. So he is the last out the door, but he's still kind of continuously looking around behind him. As you exit the inside of the warehouse, you see Luther, I imagine, still just sort of taking a deep breath.
Yeah, he'd, depending on how much time, he's probably gathered himself and he'd be making a call to the prince here pretty soon, or just a text. If he saw them coming out, he'd probably just send a text being like, they're in there. You might want to send your boys. Or not.
Just they?
They. Yeah, there's no... Yeah, just they.
Okay.
He ain't no snitch.
And then, I'm sorry, you said that, is Luther he's breathing hard out there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'd be kind of like just think of any movie where you see someone like run out of a room in deep breath, like kind of like hands on knees bent over, kind of like gasping for air kind of a thing.
Yeah. Now, Rebecca will kind of put like a hand on his shoulder for like a second and then kind of feel awkward about it and just withdraw. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. You guys couldn't wait? It would have been what, 24 hours?
Do you think the violence would have lessened in that time? Can't hear you, baby girl.
Oh, yeah.
Still? Now can you?
You're
Yeah.
Good. You're good.
It's not the fact that the violence would have been, it's that somebody else could have been here. We could have done this in a lot safer manner than just rushing in here blind. We would have had scouts. We would have had information that would have made this. We have no idea what's even in that basement right now.
We rushed in blind? I thought they were supposed to be here today.
I mean, we didn't know who was supposed to be in there or how many or what was down there. We just, we have no idea. And it's not like many of us, and he'll kind of wave at the people. It's not like any of us are really adapt for this situation. And maybe we could have brought a couple more men along to make it a little bit more easier for all of us.
I think we brought the right amount.
I'll give you maybe rushing in, but
Honestly, something about this doesn't feel right. And I thought that we should do it ourselves. I'll take the blame for it. It was mostly my fault.
no. I did it. I convinced her. She knew that you didn't want her to go in.
There doesn't need to be finger pointing. It doesn't matter whose fault it is or whose it ain't. But I'm just.
Marcel's gonna want to yell at somebody, and it might as well be me. I at least have something to sweeten the pot.
If you want to fall down on your sword, go for it. So what? Are we leaving? Are we staying here? What are we doing?
Want to make sure they come back up.
Make sure the right people walk out of that door.
Rebecca,
Yes, ma'am.
you feel a pretty heavy breeze brush over your shoulder, and like you can kind of even see like some of the like dust and leaves go with it, and there's a very distinct, heavenly, just amazing scent with it that you recognize as a sign your avatar has given you before to get your attention. As you can almost see this wind rush ahead of you, looking in the direction it goes, you see the side mirror of your car that's ahead of you. Just the side mirror seems to glint as if a light was shown in it, but there's no source for it.
Okay.
You can roll. You let me know whatever would be best for you to kind of interpret a sign from your avatar.
Yeah. I don't have my sheet up. Give me 2 seconds.
No problem. Finally give you some mage stuff, and you're like, nah.
Where's my sheet?
I can send it to you if you need it.
No, I have it. Like, I'm pulling it up now.
Okay.
Just the timing was good. So like 1 of 3, and that's your call. Enigmas is kind of puzzles and riddles. Esoterica is occult practices, and then cosmology is sort of knowledge of the other realms, which is sort of where avatars kind of do their thing.
Enigmas makes the most sense.
Okie doke. And is that what, perception or intelligence?
I think because it's like an in the moment kind of thing, you're not sitting and trying to work it out. Perception or wits, whichever. I don't know if you have a one's better.
Yeah. I totally don't have enigmas though, so I'm rolling at a higher DC.
Nice.
1 success.
Wow.
Nice. Okay. You pick up that this sign, this little like flashing of the in the window shield. You get the notion you should head to your car and at least try and take another look there.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was hoping, like, if I didn't roll, that was what I was gonna do, so.
I'm actually okay for this to be an extended, but I want you guys to move forward and I'll let you know when you should roll again.
Yeah. So basically, mid-conversation while Luther is explaining things that we should do and whether or not Dinah should take the blame, Rebecca will sort of look elsewhere and then kind of immediately head for her car.
I guess, because you helped me out here, I guess I'm
Abraham is
following.
still on her arm, then she will take Abraham with her.
I'll just kind of look a little odd.
Luther will stay at the door.
Dinah is more concentrated on trying to keep Hector's attention away from the building.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
Someone shows up.
it's a kid staring inside the candy shop. He's not moving just yet.
As you start to walk off, I'll stop and I'll realize, oh shit, I need to stay here at this door, and I'll go back and keep an eye on the door. Darn.
Okay.
Kind of lean on the wall.
She'll try to, as hurriedly as she can, either put you up against a wall or, like, hand you to someone.
Yeah.
You all right? Dinah asks Abraham.
Oh, what was that?
Are you all right?
I do not like what is going on, but I understand it. It is a necessary evil, I suppose. I would, before the night is up, though, like to get my cane back.
See if I can't find it.
I know about where it is. It's just hard for me to get it myself.
At that point, Luther, you get a text back from the prince that says, "Sending people, stay there or return to my mansion. This is an order."
Say that again?
You get a text from the prince that says, "Sending people, stay there or return to my mansion or plantation. This is an order."
How far gone is Rebecca at this point? Because you're walking towards your car, right? Is she like within earshot, or?
I'd say an earshot.
Sure.
It's a kind of a dead area anyway. The freeway's a little bit off the road.
The prince is going to want to speak to us tonight. He's sending men here right now. He says either go to his place, or I'm assuming he'll have some men here, and then we'll be escorted to him.
Me too?
Yeah, I will. I mean, you've met him, so I'm sure this is, yeah, I'm sure you'll be coming along too. I think. But in his message, did it seem like all of us need to stay, or just me?
It's not clear, but you can understand from being a kindred as long as you have and the way princes want to handle things, this is probably going to be an unofficial court.
So, if I don't even know why I'm going to say it. I'm sure none of us really care too much about it, but if we want to stay on the prince's good side, maybe now is the right time to leave. And the ones who stay, I'm definitely going to stay, and we can make up something. I'll look at
deliver my new friend.
Abraham.
I am not going anywhere until we know how this has ended.
All right then.
It's a good idea.
For sure. I'm right there with you. Rebecca, I don't know. It's not like he can rightly get you in trouble, so I'm sure you're going to want to stay as well.
No, I think I mean, if people are going, I'll go.
Oh.
I've never been to a vampire court. It's vampire court or listen to people scream and die.
I well, did you say listen to people scream and die actually in character or no?
Yes.
Well, it's not like I can give you a ride to the prince. Are you ready? I'm sure you don't need to pack up anything.
I just need to check my car really quick.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's get a hurry on it. And Luther will turn and nod at Abraham and Dinah, and start walking towards her car.
As soon as they get out from the basement.
Yes, we will leave at that time.
Oh, sounds good. I'll be waiting. And yeah, Abraham will walk with Rebecca to her car.
Wait, Abraham?
Luther will.
Okay. I was like, I thought Abraham was staying.
Yes, no, I'm staying.
Good. All right, so Luther and Rebecca, you start heading back towards her car. Rebecca, when you get closer, you actually see Tuna inside the car looking a little riled up. And as you approach, now go ahead and give me another roll.
Also enigmas or like what? Perception something? What am I rolling?
I'll let you use cosmology since you're tuned in with your avatar right now.
2.
All right. So you approached the car, and it was the left side mirror that had glinted brightly without any obvious source. It seems to do so again, as if someone like just walked by suddenly with a flashlight. And then you see the similar flash off in the distance, about a quarter mile. And it looks like it's kind of along a small, messy bit of tree line, diagonal to the warehouse.
Okay. Yeah, no, she's going to very quickly open up her car door to let Tuna out and then kind of sprint for that area.
So Tuna very excitedly jumps out, starts, kind of rubbing along your leg, but looks ready to follow you. So as soon as you start moving, she does with you.
Okay.
So as you approach the area where you saw the light, give me an actual perception alertness. Yeah, go ahead and roll that first.
Do I see her just running off to her car?
It's sorry. Like
Yes.
the moment she runs away from her car towards a tree, she'd be like, just one second.
All right. And Luther will go start up his car. He's assuming he's driving her, and the other people will take her car.
3.
Okay. You start digging around. You're not even really sure what you're looking for, but you saw where the light came from, and you're still kind of being guided by your avatar. Eventually, you do find, kind of settled into the side of an old half-dead bush. It looks like a very small camera. So it's really just like about the size of like your thumb with just a little glass on the front of it, and a wire that travels down to a small little pack on the ground.
Yeah, no, she's gonna fucking rip it out. I don't like she's going to rip the lens from the thing and then take both in separate pieces to the others.
Before you do that, like you're reaching your hand out to grab this thing, you feel like almost a hand, but like made out of wind, push your hand away.
Okay. Yeah, then she will stop. Luther?
Yeah.
Could you be a doll and come here for a second?
He'll start walking over suspiciously. Is there a cat near you, or is the cat in the bush now?
At this point, since she like kind of knelt down, the cat's just like by her knee.
Are you? I know a lot of people love their cats and all, but this is not exactly the right time to be taking your cat out for.
No, this is not who walks their cat. No, this is different.
You brought your cat in the car. I mean,
she's a good cat. This
all
not,
right. What? Yep. Okay. What, Rebecca? What can I do for you?
There's a. She'll start to say it and then stop and then just kind of point at the camera part and try to keep herself out of the radius of the lens.
So you said the camera's in the bush and it's facing towards the warehouse, correct? Spira?
Yes.
Cool.
If you take like a good kind of like look at the direction it's pointing, it looks like it's probably covering the front door and at least a good portion of the parking lot.
Okay, and yeah, I can tell the prince about it. What would you like me to do here, Rebecca?
What the hell do you think this is for? And should we just keep it here? I mean,
usually
you have no suspicions regarding a tiny little bush camera that points at the murder warehouse?
Now, there could be two things. It could be a camera for the people who are occupying the warehouse and they are wanting to watch their for protection, or it is somebody else who is investigating the warehouse and they are watching for let's give it a look. Spirit, there's a wire connected to it going somewhere, or no?
Yeah, down to like a little like power pack, just like kind of settled by the roots of the bush. By the way, Abraham and Diana, you do totally see Rebecca having gone running from her car with her cat, Luther trancing around, and now they're both kneeled on the ground in front of a bush.
What the hell are they doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're just gonna watch silently.
I will say Hector also looks confused.
Am I able just to pick it up, Spirit?
Yeah, it's the power pack is so it didn't have to be, plugged in anywhere. So it's kind of, there's the pack is on the ground, the wire goes up through the bush, and it was clipped onto like a branch.
He tries to reach for it, Rebecca's gonna smack his hand away.
What are you doing?
I don't know that we should grab it right away. I don't know that we should grab it right away.
What are you doing?
You can come here and see.
All right.
I suppose I will stay here.
Maybe bring the guy too.
Yeah, come here. Abraham, come here. She'll like kind of help you out.
I do not feel comfortable until someone has walked out of there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm coming back. I'm not leaving.
Yes, but what if they come out during the time that we are over there? It will be several minutes for me to get over there. I will stay here I do not believe that you need me. You all need me for that long.
Okay.
We can take it, and we can tell the prince about it, or we can watch it, or Spear, is it like a GoPro? What kind of camera are we talking? Are we talking like VHS, old school?
Big old shoulder cam.
No. I said it was, yeah. It's more like GoPro size. It's very, very small. Like, it's just probably just to catch major details. Like, you're not looking at anything that's gonna give you, enhance kind of a capability.
Right. Look, it's not connected to anything, so it's not like a live feed. It's not someone's security camera for just getting instant information. If that was the case, we would have, I don't know, tried to get everyone out, but it's not that. It's not. So it's evidence, and we can tell the prince about it, and he can have a man or two sit on here and wait for someone to come retrieve this, and then we can ask that man some questions. Or we can do that, but it could be a human, so then we run into that issue right there. Are you okay with me picking it up now?
I don't. How about...
Tuna starts walking in front of him.
No.
Are you telling Tuna no, or are you telling me
I'm telling you no. Just wait a second. How about we're gonna ask this man if he knows about the camera. We can move on. We can move forward from there.
Diana, as you head over, do you take Hector with you, or you leave him with Abraham? Okay, so dragging him along, he does kind of mumble, "Should we help?" And he nods at the warehouse.
Honestly, just gonna wait and see how that pans out. Did you know about this, though?
When you arrive and point out the camera, he's going to look very confused and shake his head. No. We've never been asked to put security up.
I wouldn't. This isn't exactly a security type situation. A security camera would have a live feed, so someone can watch it right away. Or one, they wouldn't be hiding it in a bush.
Okay, so if it's not his, then whose is it? And should we move it? Is it the prince's? Has he been watching this? Is it?
I don't believe it's the prince.
Is it some? I mean. If technocrats are an issue...
Would they need a camera? Wouldn't they have some kind of magic spell to do this kind of situation?
Wow.
She is just going to
They
stare at
just
him.
use
Like,
the
she is not
camera.
going to answer that question. She is just going to stare at him.
Look, you obviously have a problem with me taking it, and your cat has a problem with me taking it, so I'm assuming we're leaving it. Is that fair to say?
I don't know. Okay, it's clearly... It's problematic.
What might be a real problem is if the man who put this here gets it and sees all of our phases. I'm assuming that camera might even have audio and can hear us talking about it. Probably even said your name right next to it, and your cat's name right next to it.
It's a cat. They can't look her up in a phone book, Luther. I don't
know what your technocrats can do, but I'm just saying, yeah.
Well, they can. Remember how I was worried about people putting traces on things?
Yeah.
If they take this and they have a trace on it.
Okay. All right. So we leave it here and we tell the prince about it. Does that sound fair?
Okay, how about...
Or...
I'm just gonna look at her cat. Hey, Tuna, can you knock this over? Like, maybe, like, knock it into, like, turn the camera. You know, you're a cat. They're not... Just knock it over.
Are you really asking your cat for a favor?
Are you asking her, like, to basically knock it out of the bush so you're not taking it directly?
Like, just kind of knock the lens so that way the lens doesn't look like it's just looking at something obscure now.
A little more wind passes by while Tuna looks at you, and it almost seems like the two of them are sighing together.
God damn it. Yeah, no, she'll just pick her fucking cat up like a football and head to Luther's car.
He'll shake his head and laugh and just walk with you.
Alright, so Rebecca and Luther are going to the Prince's plantation?
Yes, but before we go, everyone drove there in Rebecca's car. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Bjorn and I were in. No, I thought. Yeah. Okay, there we go. No, Bjorn, where did we? We were in the van provided by his fellow gangrel chick.
Roxy.
That's yeah. Okay, there we go.
Rebecca, give me your keys.
Are you gonna drive my car? Or are you?
No, I'm gonna give your keys to Dinah, and Dinah can drive your car. And me and you are gonna take my car, and that way everyone has a way out.
Okay. Hey, Dinah, here are my keys.
Oh no.
Thank you. I guess that is the best way. Sure.
I've driven a jalopy before.
Rebecca was more surprised at the initial thought that Luther would drive a goddamn Jeep Cherokee.
He has his car. It's fine. Oh, and your cat gets to ride in it too. There's like enough room, I'm sure.
She'll just put Tuna on her lap.
There you go. All right, let's go. Oh, and I get to roll for drive this time, and hopefully not fuck all that up.
Let's see that roll.
We had the action scene, fuck all the rolls. You're good.
Hopefully, maybe.
No, there's still more action scene left. Maybe they could roll more shitty rolls.
4 successes.
Golden.
Nice. Alright, so Luther does kind of peel out, but he keeps solid professional control over the vehicle, so with the nice suspension, it doesn't actually feel as wild as it might have in a shittier car. And he takes Rebecca out onto the freeway for a fun, wild ride. Tuna's not too happy, just kind of kneads into Rebecca's lap like, why is this happening?
You might get the feeling it might be also therapeutic for Luther to do this. He's had a rough day. He needs something.
Rolls down the window, wind in his hair.
Blast in some fucking AC/DC or something.
He listens to classic rock.
Oh, for sure he listens to classic rock.
Rebecca's gonna laugh.
Alright, at this point we're going to take a break for a couple minutes, let our PCs stretch their legs if they need to. When we get back, we will find out, hopefully, the not too long conclusion of the downstairs combat, and then what exactly is going to happen with the prince and this little court shindig.
Yeah, gonna figure out what's going on in the downstairs mix-up.
Yeah. Alright,
Do you
so
want to go to that? I just wouldn't leave if I wasn't sure if they were alive yet.
Yeah.
So, as usual, anybody in the chat, if you have questions about the game, characters, players, any of that fun stuff, go ahead and post those, and tell us how y'all doing. How is everybody tonight?
Also, thank you for the sub that just came in.
Absolutely. Thank you, the Potate.
That's Karis.
I know who it is.
Also, Beryl, what the fuck are you talking about? A live action Teen Titans movie? Is that real?
I don't.
Now let's all sit here quietly as we Google that to make sure it's something real.
Nah. I was solidly quoting what's his name? I got a mangina. What the?
Oh, Old Greg.
Dude.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah, Old Greg. I was quoting Old Greg. I mean, I don't. Thank you for the subscription, the Potate. I do not know who you are. Any previous sentences to the contrary are stricken from the record.
Did anyone see the trailer for Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody with the dude from iRobot? Not iRobot. Fuck me. What is it called?
I mean, if you insist. Hey.
Mr. Robot.
Is he Freddie Mercury?
Yes, he is Freddie Mercury.
I have only seen a couple of episodes of Mr. Robot, but like I can solidly see him as being Freddie Mercury.
I can't wait for this movie. It looks good from the trailer. And I'm not sure if he's singing or if they're just playing. I can't quite tell. If he sings, I'd be very impressed. Also, there was a question for Hope. Oh, yes. Okay, she answered it. All right, Zib, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm gonna go grab another Blue Moon because I'm out.
That's not their Hefeweizen, right? That was their green?
No, this is just a regular Belgian white.
Okay. Nope, the color was just a little weird.
It's my I don't feel like thinking too hard about what I'm gonna drink beer.
Modi. I saw it. I saw you lift it up.
So I am drinking Verbacher's Blithering Idiot, which is a barley wine and fucking phenomenal. And actually, half of this 4-pack is going to Articus Elvishdame's fiance that I promised him, but I had to help myself to a couple of them. It's one of his favorite beers of all time.
Where's that one made at? Kaz, are you excited we finally got to some violence? Oh, his headphones aren't in.
I'm just sad Angel barely ever got to see anything like this.
Sorry, it's like a hella amazing thunderstorm going on in the background. I was just enjoying seeing rain. Would you say, Char?
I was asking if you were excited that some violence actually got to happen. Also, not only violence, but violence that goes against the word of the prince. Like, I was like, oh, double hit right here for him.
Theo's not exactly worried about the prince.
I know he's not worried.
Yeah, it's more one of those, like, we found ourselves in this situation, and now we're cleaning it up. But no, he's as long as I leave there with most of my limbs, I'll be happy.
I mean, if anything, I feel like Theo would be happy if an arm got cut off and he was just a one-armed vampire for a while. It would add to his character.
That would bemuse him more than I'd like to admit. He would probably carry it around though, and be like, "Hey guys," and like waving with the arm.
I have Mrs. Nesbit.
See that?
Yes.
Oh my god. Gotta do Jakey Poo's initiative. Jake, you dumb sack of potatoes.
Let's swap over the music before we get back into the combat.
Yeah, this is for break.
Go.
I'm surprised you're not playing the song for the combat.
I did.
Was it the song?
No,
Yeah.
I think it was song number 2.
No, it was the other song.
Yeah, it was the other song. Was it the
I don't think
song?
I have the song loaded up in this Roll20. I'd have to go
Really?
find it real quick. I'd have to go find it real quick. Hold on. Oh wait, no, Jake did okay.
It doesn't need a title, really. It's just the song.
Yeah, but I have to find it again.
sure
Whatever
if you
it's
go-
actually called. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the other one.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could find it pretty easily.
Not New Orleans, New York.
I'm gonna make it a habit of making all our vampire games in city that start with the word new. Like maybe we
That's
should
it.
do new.
Next,
I know,
oh,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah. New Amsterdam.
I thought
New
the same thing.
England. It's not a city, but it's an area.
New Mexico one of these
Yeah,
times. Just a
New England. New England.
Well, we are
New
New
Hampshire.
England. Well,
My
New
God,
York's New
boring
England.
game. New Hampshire by night.
I was just thinking, I was like, New Hampshire, like, what the hell? Who would even care?
I care.
It would just be
Also-
one. It would just be one vampire. Just
It's
hanging
just
out,
one
not
guy.
doing
Guys,
anything.
Can we do Shenandoah by night?
No,
They would be
Helsinki.
Beautiful.
Helsinki by night. Screw your
Newfoundland by
nighttime.
Nah, I want someplace like Ecuador by night. Someplace that's just miserable.
And humid.
The,
And
the Siberian desert by night.
Out of
not to
all,
worry about mosquitoes carrying vampire blood. Like,
out of,
Oh my god, you have a bunch of Gould mosquitoes.
by accident.
actually, I think someone did work out how that works. It would just be a small swarm. Shush.
Yeah, because I was about to play that.
Oh
game.
my god, you could be
As-
the biggest asshole to all the tourists.
As all of the official by night books that they've done, they're usually the big ones like New Orleans, New York, DC, Berlin, things like that. They did Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana, Gary.
They did it because like it used to be a wealthy place because of the industry. Then all the industry died, and now it's a shithole. So it's supposed to be a
it
fun
is.
game to like play in a city that like used to be worth
Used to be
holding.
great, and now it's
Used to be worth controlling.
Next campaign,
Gary by
say
night.
New Gary, Indiana.
No,
by night.
no, it's just Gary by night.
If we
God,
Nope.
that
Nope,
could be
not doing
taken
that one.
so
Nope.
wrong.
Nope.
Only
Never-
yes.
There's never a
Only
character
yes.
named Gary in the entire game until like the very end.
if we did it like near
Everyone hates
future,
him.
like in Gary, Indiana, like became a new mecca of some kind, then we can call it New Gary.
You could make a vampire game in my old hometown, which is Mechanicsville by night. There's not much there, but like trucks and like
Yeah, but like,
You
why
mean
not
Hicks
just
by night?
in a Walmart.
It's basically easier.
It would be just a bunch of kindred working at a Walmart the whole time.
Yeah,
It would be good.
and like talking trash about each other.
It's Angel's
really
homeland.
bad in southern accents. Like, yeah.
No,
Then
it's
they go to
Angel's
the
homeland.
Cracker
You
Barrel
can't
and then the
exist in that town.
Applebee's.
They go to
Alright.
Cracker Barrel.
And
Alright.
the Applebee's.
Let's make it
Like,
through this
that's what they
combat
do.
before
Yeah,
2
let's,
a.m. Alright, so to review, Theo has taken 1 damage, but Bjorn, you've managed to do 2 to Luca, the probably obviously La Sombra that is trying to dive into the shadows to get anything done. Not doing so well. Jake, who had like lost his balance and focus on the stairs after you guys ran ahead in your wolf forms, finally makes it down the stairs and is taking in what's going on. Everyone is fighting except for that one guy that you saw kind of back up for a minute. We're gonna keep the initiative, so Luca is he's focused on trying to, like, it's his best bet, so he's going to be working with the shadows again. Next is Bjorn.
Seeing as I've already kind of like jumped on him, pounced on him, have my mouth on his neck, I'm going to start just pawing or clawing at his back with all of my limbs, trying to just eviscerate him, essentially.
Sounds
And
good.
again, I'm going to spend a blood point for an extra celerity action of the same.
Alright, next is Jake, who he notices one of the last, like, railing poles down the bottom of the stairs is really kind of rusted. by its base, so he's gonna give it a real hard kick to try and get himself a solid weapon. After that is Theo.
Come on, Jake, get your shit together. He's beating up stairs, and we're trying to kill vampires. I want this bitch's arm. Like, I want some part of her. I want to take it from her and make her eat it.
Alright, you and Emma are pretty much locked up, so she's similarly to Bjorn gonna try and, like, just reach out with her claws again. Next is... runaway guy. So 1 second. So the guy who initially backed up, you guys are busy, a little focused, but you'll probably have noticed since he backed up instead of fighting, you might have looked over at him again. He looks a little paranoid, confused, but once he sees the two of you attacking the rest and sees Jake grabbing a weapon, you see him pull a decent-sized pistol out from the back of his pants, and he is aiming at Colt, the big guy with the short blonde hair.
All right.
And Colt was trying to attack Bjorn and messed up. So, we will go with Colt's roll. Oh, I have to put the music on repeat. Sitting here like, that's a longer dip than I remembered it having. There we go. Ooh, 4 successes on Bjorn.
It's gay. Was that to hit or damage?
That is hit.
Okay.
And no damage. Maybe Bjorn is one of those like dogs with like the extra skin that just rolls away when you try and hit it.
I have fortitude. It's okay. I have fortitude.
You don't even need to roll it. So, yeah, you're still working on Luca. Colt is apparently just a giant dumb oaf and can't do anything. Next is Garrett, who's going to be shooting at Colt. Four successes.
3 successes.
3? Oh, okay. Fuck, I forget how firearms work because no one ever does them.
Hey, what kind of thing are they rolling? I just did a one-shot and I still have my notes on firearms.
He's shooting just a standard pistol. But he's aiming for his head. He got 4 successes, so he's gonna pretty much get that.
I know that Mage 20th lists damage for a light pistol at 4.
Okay. Oof. Alright, so Garrett does shoot Colt in the head, but big old dumb oaf that Colt is kind of manages to just soak that bullet in the back of his head meat and is still focused on Bjorn. Emma is attacking Theo. Only 1 success. It is a headshot, but I'm saying like it's like his fortitude got it kind of like stuck right in that like meeting the skull, not so much through. Alright, Theo, go ahead and roll your soak. Just your fortitude.
Hold on, things are giving me trouble again.
Just play Jeopardy over this. Hard Rock Jeopardy.
You said just so, right?
Yeah, four. I thought you had 4 fortitude.
No, 3. I corrected it.
Oh, okay. Alright, you take 1, soak the other.
I thought she only got 1 success. Oh, sorry, no, 2. You're right.
Aggravated. Theo, go ahead and do your roll against Emma. Nice.
Six success. Oh, sorry. 5 successes.
Okay. Oof.
Or 4, I don't know.
Yeah,
Depends.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Now I roll damage, right?
Yeah.
Which is just your strength?
Plus whatever you have left over that they didn't soak. I've been doing it slightly off. Sorry.
So what am I
It's so
rolling?
bad.
I have 6 strength plus 1 for damage. So 7. Plus what else? So just my strength roll. Three.
Oh, that's what I was doing wrong. I'm so sorry. No, it's all the successes that they don't cancel by soaking, and then you can apply potence. I'm gonna get this one day.
That's fine. Anyway, 3 for damage.
Okay, and she couldn't soak any, so she takes.
And it's all ag.
Yep. Alright, she takes 3, so she's definitely gonna be injured, which will give her a negative.
So, like, is her arm, like, half hanging off? Story tell me here. How successful am I getting in taking this bitch's arm away?
Well, it's describe your action you're attempting. How you're aiming.
I went straight for her arm to tear that sucker off. Basically thrashing my head around wildly, like a dog with a chew toy.
So you get a good grip on her arm. Her fortitude and mix of stamina is helping her retain her limb thus far, but it is definitely becoming ragged. Your teeth marks are not healing, even if she like tries to spend blood. It is definitely doing some permanent damage at the moment. And that arm is going to be the one that affects her dice pool, basically. So that -1 is going to be that she can't swing her claws as well with that arm anymore. Next is Jake. So he's trying to get this bar.
Please botch, pull it out of the wall and hit yourself in the head, Jake.
He did it.
Yay!
She did
So-
it.
Oh, sorry. Wasn't holding my button down right. But now Jake has basically a metal stake that could be used for melee or staking. And that is his main action, but he starts running towards Colt, who, in his opinion, looks like the big kind of troll you need to take down in the fight. Now we have Bjorn. Locked in with Luca.
I'm sorry, I was talking to my wife real quick.
It's fine. Yeah, it's your turn.
All right, going again for the mauling of Luca.
Okay, go ahead and roll that. And I have the combat right now.
Okay, so both of my explosions were successes, even though one technically got canceled, so it's going to be 6 successes.
Alright, you got 4 dice to roll plus any potence.
Plus the one for being Protean.
That's why I'm always like, why does my combat take so long? I know I'm not great at it, but I'm like, these guys should be down soon. Sorry, what was that, Bjorn?
Nothing.
You roll your 4 leftover successes plus any potence you have.
And the one from Protean.
Yeah. Combat's gonna be so much better now. I always mix up that one strength roll you can do for certain things and the other thing.
Just dose.
Okay, but that's good.
I know for dog form, our damage is strength +1.
Yeah, no, that's what he did. Alright, Luca is at 4 aggravated. He is severely wounded, so he's actually going to take -2 to his... Come on, there we go. This button doesn't like me some days. So, Luca's at 4 aggravated damage. He is at a -2 dice pool. Bjorn, the giant gray wolf, is at this point entirely on his back, biting into and clawing at this man who, in the darkness of the room, is still trying to reach out with his discipline to summon the shadows to do anything for him. Finally.
Hey, Spirit,
Yeah.
can you share the 10s?
No. They're mine. So as Bjorn is chomping down into Luca's back and digging his claws into his ribs, finally the shadows start to fall under Luca's command and begin writhing and become an unnatural darkness around the two of you until they form 3 large 6-foot tentacles, each one sort of in a triangle around where the two of you are on the ground. And that will be his turn, but you can assume what he's going to try and do next.
Die. Die is what he's going to do next with my celerity action.
Just as this happens, you hear Garrett, the one that's trying to shoot Colt and confusingly help you guys, does yell out, "Fuck!"
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and eviscerate him further and hopefully finish the job this time.
Yeah. Well, starting back from the bottom going up, Luca now
Oh, no.
does...
I had a celerity action.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sorry, Backspace is also my push and talk on my mouse, so I'm reloading roll 20, so it'll just be
You're
1
fine.
second. Two successes to hit.
You got 1 more damage.
Or 1 hit.
Yes. So go ahead and roll.
And that's 3 successes.
So, as you put all of your strength, rage, disgust with what's been going on here into your final attack, your teeth sink deep into the side of his throat and you pull back, ripping out a whole load of just meat and even chunks of his spine. Vampires don't spurt blood because it isn't, flowing, but his blood that was anywhere near there just begins pooling out in front of him. The tentacles writhe and even it almost kind of, one just barely almost hits you, but it just kind of slides by and then begin sinking into the darkness on the floor and then begin to disappear. For reference, he is incapacitated, not technically dead. At that, you'll hear a kind of a weird whimper from Garrett off on the side. And Jake is also going to give kind of a, relaxed snort, seeing those tentacles appear and disappear right away.
Am I getting the sense that, Garrett is kind of, breaking down or just uneasy? How...
Since it's not combat, I'll let you roll perception empathy.
Three successes.
Okay. No. You're getting a sense that whatever the reason, he is actually he's on your side. When the fight broke out, he decided he was going to be with you guys rather than these guys. He was actually scared that those tentacles came out, as if he was going to have to worry about them, and the whole still trying to shoot Colt is to try and, take him down.
So he's acting kind of like a mortal with a lot of ridiculous shit going on and whimpering, and not about to piss himself and crumple into a corner.
Yeah, more like a kindred, maybe not as old as you, seeing Lasombra do Lasombra shit.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright. Then, Bjorn, it is actually your turn, because Luca can't do anything. Oh wait, no, you just had your turn because he was going to do his arms, so that didn't work. Alright, so then Jake is gonna dive with his new stake at Colt. Oh, god damn it, Jake. You worthless piece of...
So why did the prince assign Jake to be a bodyguard?
Because he's cruel.
Clearly, Jake was supposed to accidentally kill her by now.
I mean, it was also who's expendable?
I mean, he was just there to be a meat shield, right? He's just there to soak it while she runs away or something.
Well, he's failing at that, so...
Technically bodyguarding.
Jake again, tries to help out and slips on some of the massive load of Luca's blood on the ground, not really making any connection with Colt. Oh, I shouldn't have rolled, but it's whatever. It probably would have happened anyway. Theo, what is your action? Don't roll yet.
Fuck, sorry. totally zoned out for a second. I thought you said Bjorn. I don't know why.
We were even squinting. I was like, you thinking hard?
No, yeah, I'm definitely gonna take. I would take another good tear at this arm.
All right. Emma's going to be doing the same, fighting back. Garrett is going to keep his focus on Colt since Theo seems to have a handle on Emma. So Colt is going for Bjorn again. Not going to be good, I assume.
Do I not get an action, or are we taking my perception as my action this turn?
Oh, that was your celerity. I'm sorry. I hate combat with 8 fucking people.
No.
You have an action.
Yeah, I'm just going to turn and pounce on, take Colt to the ground instead this time. Going for his throat with my jaws and trying to manhandle him.
Okay.
Show him how real Brujah fight.
Yeah. So Colt was already heading at you, so you're gonna be like turning around. You see him heading your way. Three successes with his feral claws. So go ahead and apply.
I only soaked one.
Okay. So 2.
So that takes me down to her.
Nope. Big old dumb Colt does nothing. That was his success. I didn't roll his attack.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So Colt lunges at you again, and Bjorn, being the wily, dexterous wolf that he is, avoids it. Garrett is going to be shooting Colt. Don't need Luca's sheet anymore. Jesus, Garrett, finally. Yeah. Okay, so Colt takes 1 lethal damage. Emma's gonna be swinging at Theo. Two, so go ahead and roll your fortitude.
Botch, 0. Oh, no, sorry, not botch, just 0.
Yeah. Alright, she's getting very distracted by that injury. I actually even gave her 1 more dice than she should have had anyway, so yeah, no, she is getting a little bit distracted by this. She just realized from like the corner of her eye that Luca is out of the race, and Colt has 2 people, actually 3 or 4, kind of heading his way between Garrett and Jake as well, and just loses her own focus on the fight she's dealing with. Alright, go ahead, Theo.
Four successes.
One success, so go ahead and roll 3 dice.
Is it not strength plus 1?
No, sorry, it's the leftover successes after their soak cancels out your successes.
I'm really confused because the direwolf one says it's strength plus 1 ag for damage. Whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So is it strength +1 for damage?
Yes. And then she'll soak 1.
Nothing.
Alright, you can describe what distracts Theo. Just maybe some dogs running by outside.
Theo's really worried. Theo's just really worried that he won't be able to tear this arm off in time, and that he's going to ruin it and it won't make a good trophy.
He's trying to be a little more specific with his attack.
Yeah, but instead he just screwed up.
At that point, Jake is going to make his attack on Colt. Okay.
Damn, Jake, where'd that come from?
He's sick of tripping on things.
It's 5 successes. Six successes. On 5 dice.
God damn it, Jake. He makes it over to Colt, and, you know, tries to bash at him, but he kind of, like, just hits his shoulder. It doesn't really seem to do anything to the man. But here comes Bjorn.
Alrighty. So, trying to now pounce on and... Sorry, what did you call him? Cole? Cole.
Yeah. Yeah, just take him down in one shot. It's fine.
So that's 6 successes to hit.
He soaks 2.
No, that was to hit.
Yeah, no, he has 2 soak. So apply strengthen +1 for aggravated.
Plus your leftover successes.
Yes, that's what it is. Okay, sorry. Gotta change up every little thing.
So it's strength +1 +4.
Potence plus extra successes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 4-dot discipline. You should be able to do a lot with it.
8 successes.
6.
On damage and soak, 1s don't cancel, 10s don't explode.
Okay. So he can soak 2. This man is crippled, so Bjorn, would you do me the darling favor of describing how you eviscerate this guy?
So, still dripping from what I just finished taking Lucas down to the ground. Being pummeled in the side by this Cole, I turn, leap at him, teeth latch into his throat, bite down, drag him to the ground, where I proceed to, with both my forearms, just start ripping open his chest cavity and spreading blood and body parts.
Jake honestly takes another couple steps back and just, Jesus. And Garrett as well, just kind of like, ugh.
And finish it all with a nice little head shake at the end to make sure the neck is snapped.
Okay, he is crippled. Basically won't be able to do all that much more, but still not incapacitated. Just as a note. Alright, you have your celerity action?
No, I did not spend my
Okay.
blood point to get celerity actions this turn.
Okay. Well then, in that case, it's just bottoms up. So I'm going to assume you're going to try and finish him off?
Yeah, I'm going to finish mangling the individual and underneath me.
Jake honestly kind of feels like he's not necessarily needed between Bjorn and Theo, and the other guy's already out. So he takes a step back to assess the situation. Theo, what are you doing? Dealing with girly girl here? Alright.
I'm just gonna start biting at her side. Just gonna give up on this arm. Clearly it's lubricated or something. I can't hurt it.
Emma's still fighting you. And Garrett at this point will turn his focus towards Emma and shoot at her. So, let's go with Garrett. Alright, he manages 1 bit of lethal damage on top of your 3 aggravated. Emma's gonna be attacking. Uh-oh. Alright, apply your soak, Theo.
One success.
So it's strength, plus 1 aggro, plus leftovers?
Yeah.
Alright, Theo, she does not like... She is upset that her 2 friends, as far as you might be able to assume, are down on the ground, basically dead. She gets a surge of just power through her rage, and digs her claws deep into your actual, like, chest cavity, kind of even scraping hard across your heart. She does fairly significant damage. You are at wounded, which means -2 to your dice pool.
How much ag was that total?
6.
Ow! That's just wounded?
Yeah, I think you're supposed to actually do 2 marks for each health.
Okay.
Next is Theo. So yeah, go ahead and do your roll back. See how much you can take her for.
Sorry, what was that me again?
Yes, it's your turn.
It's -2 to everything I do, right?
-2 to your dice pool. And actually, she should have had that as well. I'm gonna keep you wounded because it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Colton, you're right. But I gave her extra dice by accident, so she had more than she should have, so I'm taking a couple off. 5. All right. She got 3, so 6. Nice.
I thought for damage, 1s don't soak and 10s don't explode.
Yep. 7. Sorry. I'm in my normal brain mode.
I'm just trying to understand these rules.
I know. The combat's really not good. I even like reread everything earlier, but I totally forgot about how Protean works. A little funny. Alright, this girl is absolutely dead. She's gonna hit incapacitated first, but just another couple minutes as her blood pours out of the aggravated wounds that she's unable to close, she will be dead. Theo, would you like to, maybe describe yourself? How you looking?
Oh yeah, he's gonna scream out in pain as she digs literally into his chest cavity, punches a hole through him, and just freak out and tear at her throat. I'm not dying this way. Putting every last ounce of his being into killing this girl and making the pain stop. Then probably falling to the floor on top of her and panting and just watching and seeing what happens with the other guy.
Alright, Jake sees that... So Colt is crippled. He's basically gonna be, down on knee, in a bad shape. Even though Bjorn is still heavily attached to this guy, attacking him from the front, Jake is gonna try one last time to do anything. Come on, Jake.
Sad Bruja.
There's always gotta be one.
Bringing back that hashtag.
Hashtag sad Bruja.
What's that roll?
Woo.
Look at that.
No, but he hasn't done damage yet. Alright, so 3 successes against Colt, so...
4. Isn't it? I mean,
No.
the 1 wouldn't negative
The one doesn't
from...
minus on exploding it though.
Oh. Interesting, because they are rolled separately, I guess.
Oh. Sure, let's give this guy a win.
Yeah, he needs it.
Nope. No, Colt has too much soak. So, Jake, tries to shove this pole, into his back, but he accidentally picks the rustier side, and it kind of crumples against his back. It just sort of, only scrapes his skin a bit.
Dibs, I'm not talking to Jake after this.
For sure. Poor Jake.
Ignore that, please.
Oh, so you don't want you don't want us to roll 130 d10.
I'm sorry, you don't want 62 successes?
Hey, there's some
I
ones.
know,
I think it's more
no,
like 54.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of
yeah.
the one.
Cannon, I did it!
You did it, you guys! Oh, you did it.
Did Bjorn just ascend to being an antediluvian or something?
He just
No,
go commented
Bjorn actually
at
fathered
Yeah, that's
Cain.
40.
No. Bjorn fathered Cain.
He's
the
literally
yeah.
God.
He hacked
Yeah, that's-
himself back.
that's
He's-
48
He's been
success.
holding back all this time.
Alright, I got 1 success to hit.
62 to 1? Come on, dude. What the hell?
So 48. You gotta get rid of the ones.
Yeah,
48
48
successes.
successes. You know what? Under 50, he's not that strong.
Alright, nope.
Like we're playing D&D and you just, oops, I spilled all of my dice. I guess that's my roll.
But what
I-
happened is just his jam came on, you know?
Yeah,
And,
no,
like,
I
he knocked
almost
out.
spit Coke through my nose because fucking Neb Shake said he unleashed the Techno Viking power.
There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Alright, but
One
no.
success.
Cold was crippled, was unable to make any solid action, or well, actually wasn't able to soak it. So go ahead and finish Cold off.
Yeah, that's enough. 4 successes.
Okay. I mean, like, this is role playing. You're
Sorry,
a storyteller.
No. I'm trying to regather myself after. So I tried to change it from 13 to 10 and thought I deleted the 3 and ended up with 130. Yeah, so I think the main thing is just with the way that I've been opening up trying to reach in and try to open up his chest, still holding him down by the with my teeth on his neck, holding him down, just continue pawing at his chest and just viscera and other detail as I open his chest cage and just start spreading body parts around and internal organs as I just finally finish eviscerating him.
Perfect. At this point, Luca, Colt and Emma are dead. They're going to be dead in about a minute when the rest of their vitae spills out on the ground. Luca is technically incapacitated. And if you just wait even another 30 seconds, you will see Colt and Emma age a little bit. Not all that much. So you can tell that they've probably actually only been dead max 20 years. They certainly age they go from about mid-20s to looking somewhat middle-aged. But Luca remains on the ground in a puddle of his blood, having not changed yet. Other than that, in the room you have Jake looking so angry. And Garrett, though you don't know his name yet, in the back, still holding his pistol, looking a little shaky.
I'll probably get up out of dog form.
Bow.
I mean, Bjorn is going to be caught up in the moment for a while, tearing at Cole underneath him until he kind of realizes the job is done. Shaking a bit of blood and whatnot from his maw and his paws, and reverting as well back to his normal human self.
Yeah, and while Bjorn catches up, I'm gonna put both my hands up and look at the guy holding the gun. Easy now. There's no reason you have to die too. Lower the gun.
As you say this, I will need Theo and Bjorn to both give me, perception streetwise. Theo, you'll have it at 6 difficulty. Bjorn, it's gonna be 7 for you.
Okay. That would be 5 successes.
1.
Alright, Theo.
If we made that difficulty 6, it would be 7 successes. I'm just looking at my roll and finally appreciating the roll I just rolled.
Theo, this guy looks kind of familiar to you. Not extensively so. You can't really place a name or a clan, but you're pretty sure he's kindred. You remember seeing him around town before, and certainly in much more standard Camarilla settings. Bjorn, you also don't really necessarily remember his name, but you've totally seen him at kindred clubs around town now and again.
Does he respond?
Yes. To Theo's point, he doesn't move right away, but it looks more like someone in a little bit of shock. But then he just suddenly realizes he is still holding his gun kind of directly in your direction. Oh, Jesus Christ, sorry. And he tucks it back into the back of his pants, kind of shakily runs some fingers through his hair and says, You're Theo, right?
Yeah, last I checked. Who are you?
Name's Garrett. I've been in the city a while, about a decade or so. Hey, look, I know what this looks like, man. But if you can give me a second to explain.
While this is going on, Bjorn is just gonna I'm just gonna basically be ignoring him, taking my jacket off and start tearing it into strips, to walk over to Lucas and start binding Lucas up.
Luca.
Hands behind his back, legs together, everything, and just taking care of that while Bjorn has that Theo has that conversation.
As a note, Jake kind of steps back, tosses the worthless rebar he made himself over his shoulder, and just stands with his arms folded like he just wants to see if he's needed. Otherwise, he doesn't seem too interested in what's going on.
At one point, Bjorn would just kind of stop and just be like, turn over to Jake and just look at him and be like, let everyone know upstairs things are taken care of, and go back to his work.
Does Jake do anything? Or does he just keep standing there?
He looks not torn in any kind of emotional way, just not sure which party is better to go with. He figures there's still the two humans on the wall, though, after a minute, and says, I'll stay with Bjorn for now.
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, wait, sorry. Mix that up. I'll stay with Theo for now.
I'll roll my eyes in response and continue to bind Lucas up.
I will, sort of take a step closer, but relaxing a bit to Garrett. Hey, you put a couple bullets in the guy trying to kill us. You've earned yourself an explanation, but I can guarantee the prince is gonna be here real fucking soon. So whatever your alibi is, get that shit together.
Shit, what the fuck's the prince coming here for? No. We gotta go. Come on, upstairs. I'll tell you as we go. But we gotta go.
I don't think we're getting out of this trap. He knows we're here. So, do we need to run in a violent way? Is the prince coming to stake us? Or are you just scared that you really fucked up?
No, look, and he looks around, realizing, it's kind of a safe space. Look, this is gonna sound a little fucking crazy, but since you need to know and we need to get out of here, I'm with the group that's been investigating these disappearances, but we're concerned what the prince's involvement is, so I can't be here when the prince gets here.
I'm gonna look at Jake.
Jake's gonna shrug.
But he works for the prince, doesn't he? He's his lackey.
He's responsive to the prince's orders.
I'm gonna look over to Bjorn too. I mean, I'm okay letting him go. I'm not exactly comfortable, and I know Dinah thought something funny was going on. She doesn't trust the prince, so if we can forget Garrett here was here, I'm okay cleaning up. Bjorn, I'm sure the prince, we can handle him.
We have Lucas. Sorry, we don't know his name in character.
No.
We have the pretty boy.
Well, Garrett, do you think you could give me a phone number? Some way we can catch up after this? Because, we're involved now.
Yeah, shit. He starts digging around in the, near the, kind of desk table that's off on the side. You see his eyes, or his head. You see him glance over at the humans and Go ahead and give me a perception empathy roll.
Both of us, or just Theo?
Yeah, go, both of you. You're in the room with him.
Just the one success. Wait,
4.
sorry, that is
You only have
2 successes. I had a difficulty at 7, but it was 6.
You only have 1 perception?
I like it.
3 perception, 2 empathy.
Then why'd you only roll 1 die?
Exploding.
Oh, okay, sorry, I missed that one. It went by really fast on the screen.
Me and
Okay.
Cox said it at the same time.
Okay, Bjorn, you're not sure exactly how to read this guy, and especially when he looks over at the humans, but he doesn't. Something looks like he's uncomfortable when he looks at them. Theo, you very much more pick up on he was rushing to get you this information, and then his mind went to them. Like, he got distracted looking and thinking about the 2 people on the wall.
I'm gonna, as I see him start to dig, you know what? You know me. Just stop by my domain. I'll know you're there. I'll find you. Are they loose ends, or are you just worried?
What? He says, a little distracted. No. I mean, they're still alive. They're not in good condition. If we get them to a hospital, though, they should be fine.
Are they loose ends? Will they say something to the prince? Do I need to have their brains wiped?
Shit. And he, like, immediately digs his fingers in his hair. Yeah, no, they're totally a masquerade problem.
Okay, get out. I'll take care of it. Go now.
Yeah,
If
thanks.
Abraham asks, Abraham,
Hey, it's me.
what would be something that I would be able to tell him that would convince you that, like, me and you know each other well enough that would convince you I want Garrett out the back door and gone? Oh, tell him he's gonna go find my goat.
I was just gonna say, bring up the goat.
Look, there's probably gonna be a limping guy at the door. Just tell him that you're gonna go find my goat and you're gonna bring him back to us. Now get.
Garrett has a solid pause trying to process that, but shakes his head figuring it's just code for something, and is like, yes, thank you. Theo, I know how to
We'll
get...
talk later, go!
Okay. And he runs up the stairs. Jake
Hey,
looks...
Spira,
What?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
What's Garrett's permanent willpower? Because the first person I see is not Theo or Bjorn. I'm immediately dominating him without giving him a chance to respond. That's why I've been waiting with my eyes on the door.
It is 6.
All right, so -1 makes it 5.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're good. But to note, he goes running up the stairs. Jake continues to stand there looking kind of bemused. Like, just doesn't know much to make out of this.
I'm gonna look at Jake. You wanna help with, I don't know, the fucking torture victims? But in, like, sort of a chiding, but also like, come on, man, get it together.
Oh, yeah, I'll get this one. And he walks over.
Don't move too quickly, they might not bleed out.
He walks over. You will definitely notice right away that they have definitely been under some duress, some nasty fun, quote unquote, and but they don't have any like open wounds. It seems like smaller cuts just to hurt them, not put them in any dangerous zone that like they could actually die if they don't go to the hospital. But Garrett seemed like, he was just really worried. They're like sleeping, so they probably haven't. Also, they look a little thin, like they probably haven't gotten enough food and water, so they're not in good condition, but they're not like slashed up is what I meant.
I think it would be around this time that they would hear a thump downstairs as I tell the person running through the door to sleep.
I'll hear this, my head will tick for a second, I'll go fuck, and start running up the stairs.
Jake stays behind and makes a groan of like someone who is left to do a job for 2 people. Just,
Bjorn's still down there.
What is Bjorn going to do?
Well, I said, why don't we get the torture victims off the wall? Sorry, you had stepped away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. I'll immediately get up and walk over to the wall and start unleashing their bindings and making them as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, it is one younger man and one younger woman. So Jake was grabbing the man from the right side of the wall. He, carefully, but otherwise kind of throws him over his shoulder, sack of potatoes style.
Let me know when I get close enough to see Abraham.
They're taking a second for that. So yeah, you run up the stairs. Abraham, you now have a shaggy blonde dude, just flat on the ground in front of you. Dinah, you of course also saw this man running out of the door who started to try and say something to Abraham. He even said, Abraham.
Yeah, I'll get up there, see Abraham, see the guy. I need him awake and out of here right now. Please.
So, I would have to. Can I just no, I guess I'd have to do it again. I'd have to redominate him, or can I just break concentration, to use Dungeons and Dragons terms?
I will say that will work fine because most other ones would be a longer concentration. Simple command is just one word, they do it. But because you forced him to do this, I'll say it's sort of an unnatural sleep. So if you focus on removing that command.
All right. Then I will respond with, how do I know you are you?
What the fuck kind Abraham? What kind of game is this? There's something going on. He knows something. The prince can't find him. I don't know. What do you want? My goat? Do you have one fucking goat? Let's go.
I will sigh heavily and think for a second and let him stand back up. Excuse me if there are numerous ways to change one's face and control minds.
There, boy. Garrett, run. He's gonna elbow him to try to get him to snap back.
I mean, it takes the guy a second to get back up off the ground. He was just told to sleep and hit his head on the no one caught him.
No, but Theo's shaking him, come on.
So Garrett does, kind of get up to his feet. It takes him a moment to recollect where he is, but he sees you, and then he's outside the warehouse, and then begins booking it toward one of the black sedans that are on the side of the parking lot.
I'll look at Dinah, kind of exasperated. Dinah!
Yes. You alright? You don't look so good.
He's gonna look at the big hole in his chest. It's fine. No one can know about that guy who just left. Especially not the prince. Let's just say he agrees with you and knows some shit. He doesn't trust him either. So we need to keep Garrett hush-hush. He's going to be in contact with us.
Okay. Alright, I won't mention it.
And then Theo, take a breath, okay. Would I know if anyone here is particularly good at medicine? Out of our group?
Yes, Rebecca is.
Hey!
She's gone.
I'm not here.
Yeah, Rebecca is. She's a nurse. She's gone.
Is anyone marginally... Well, how far can I get with voodoo medicine? I have 4 dots in it. Well, you said there was no open wounds, right, Spira?
No, they do not look like they're in good condition. Like I said, you can see the hollow in their cheek, under their eyes are dark. They probably haven't eaten or had water in a good, they probably haven't had that as much as they needed. They have been beaten. There are bruises around their body. They have been cut. Just nothing like a open, gashed wound. Simple, playful torture rather than I want you to slowly die.
I won't worry about it too much.
At this point, you hear a couple cars arrive, like 2 cars arriving.
Looks like the cavalry has arrived.
As 2 like larger 4-door cars pull in, the windows are a little dark and it is middle of the night. There's not much light around here other than like some scarce lighting by the freeway, and the small burning fire is still inside on the first ground floor of the warehouse. But they, similar to the way Jake arrived, come to like a screeching halt in the parking lot. They see the few of you outside this building and throw open their doors as the almost all men come piling out of the cars. The only ones you immediately recognize would be... I'll pull up the pictures.
Can I bring up Eyes of the Beast?
Yes. You do recognize Dutch jumping out of the back of one of the cars. He is basically the Brujah Primogen, even though there isn't a set council in the city. He's definitely the Brujah leader. And then you also recognize Christopher and Anthony, that are both Ventrue and very close with the prince. Anthony is in fact his child, so you can kind of tell just by the fact that those are the ones you immediately recognize. They're kind of leading the cavalry, but there are another like 6 men with them, each kind of, you know, not heavily armed, but you can see that they either have some kind of bladed weapon or a pistol or something on them. So they start piling out of the cars and heading towards you. The fact that they see Theo, Bjorn, Abraham, Dinah, Hector. That's everybody, right? And no, Jake's still downstairs. Yeah. So the fact that he sees the
Jake and Bjorn are downstairs.
Jake and Bjorn are both downstairs. So it's Theo, Abraham, Dinah, and Hector. Standing there, the door of the warehouse just open. They, you know, start moving quickly, but then pause. And Anthony specifically addresses... Yeah, it's up,
One of you grab my cane while you, if you could. It's right. Yeah.
Some of them look really confused. Anthony hears you, but just turns to Theo again. What's going on?
What do I look like, the fucking boss around here? Theo's gonna immediately adopt his indifferent sort of facade of cheerfulness. Do I see the prince? No prince around at all?
No, he's not with them.
He'll see him get busy getting frustrated with Theo.
Hector starts looking very uncomfortable, like practically like he's about to run.
So, how mad's the prince?
What?
Christopher, the other Ventrue, just snorts at that. The 6 other Ventrue or kindred that you don't know specifically by face, they look familiar, but nobody like really important. The top 3 are the ones I named. Start looking uncomfortable. They look between the 2 guys. Should we head inside?
I think they have solved the problem, yes?
There's a vampire you might want, kindred that you might want to interrogate. Bjorn's down there, he's got him tied up, but he's not looking good. And then 2 people who probably are going to have some pretty masquerade-breaking problems. Might need to do your, Ventrue thing.
Yes, of course, sir. Of course.
Christopher,
Other than that, I don't anticipate anyone coming up.
Christopher pushes ahead, practically even like kind of shoving Anthony aside, and says, "We'll take care of this." And he leads the rest inside. Just as he passes you, you should all head to the Prince's Plantation now.
As he starts walking down the stairs, we look down. Careful, your boots might get bloody. I may have left a mess.
All right, that leaves Theo, Dinah, Hector, and Abraham standing in the parking lot. The whole crew heads down to the second floor of the warehouse. They tell Bjorn they'll finish up. He can head out with the rest, and same to Jake.
I'll stand a little obstinately for a minute, just kind of testing their patience, wiping blood off my hands and just, making a little bit of a statement before just nodding and heading upstairs.
Dutch, the Bruja leader, who has always been fairly good friends with the gang girl, kind of gives you a pat on the shoulder and just like to say like, I know this is annoying, just... Jake looks hesitant, again, not in necessarily an emotional sense, but he slowly hands over the body he was carrying to one of the other guys.
As I start walking upstairs, I'll turn back it up and just... They really need medical attention sooner than later. And walk upstairs.
Christopher just says in a straightforward tone, understood.
Who's left upstairs with Dinah, Abraham, and I?
Hector.
Hector.
None of the princess guys?
No, they all went down like a whole crew.
I'm gonna kind of like look at Dinah nervously. As much as I'm not for, or am for, crackpot theories, what are the odds we ever see anyone down there again?
Not good.
You think the prince is gonna just sweep this under the rug?
I don't think so.
To be fair, this is... I suppose this depends how you mean. Because it is kind of his job to sweep it under the rug.
No, I don't mean Masquerade way. I mean, what's the likelihood that they disappear into a dark room and never, ever come back out, and we don't get a lick of word about it?
I think we should just go and see what happens.
Fair enough.
Yes, so you know, Luther and Rebecca, it's just those two that left, right? Luther and Rebecca have already headed in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a party. I wish I wore something nicer.
No, you don't.
Damn it, you know me too well.
Unfortunately, yes. Okay, let's, Bjorn has the van, we can...
Alright, and Dinah will kind of like pat like Hector's arm and be like, it's alright, I'll watch for you, alright?
What?
Did you not hear me?
You're
Yeah,
actually
I'm
a little
sorry.
quiet.
My audio, yeah.
You sound a little better, yeah, I think when you face that way.
He just like pats Hector's arm and is basically just reassuring at him.
Yeah, into the car with me.
Yeah, Hector is very in an odd sort. You have fresh entrancement. This is gonna wear on him a little more later, but right now he's just kind of like. Also, your first level blood bond will also. So the entrancement's gonna start fading a tiny touch, where like that won't be as strong the next day, but the blood bond will be there. But the fun thing about blood bonds is even though they want what you want, they can still want it begrudgingly.
Oh, sure.
So that'll be a fun dynamic to explore.
All right.
Especially considering Dinah does in fact want to kill him.
Oh, absolutely. No,
So-
I one of my favorite things about this game is blood bonds and how weird they can get. Because I'm like, this person hates you, but they're still gonna get your groceries.
All right, so who is going with whom? Because Bjorn has the van, and apparently Dinah also has Rebecca's car, which is, I think,
Yeah.
also a van.
No,
It's a
Cherokee.
minivan?
it's
It's a minivan.
Cherokee.
Tomato, potato.
All right, I think this is a perfect spot to have one more little break, because we will come back and Luther and Rebecca will have basically gotten to the plantation. We'll have them escorted inside, and then the rest of the crew will make it there as well to find out exactly what's going to happen.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. All right, so as always, ask any questions you have, guys, in the chat if you want to know anything more about the game or characters, or even just chat with us for a little bit while we take a little momentary break.
So, Abraham, if you want to ride with Dinah, and then Theo can ride with me, and I think we'll be all set, right? Right?
Yeah, that works for me.
Sure.
I don't
Sure, yeah,
as long as
Dinah.
we get there.
Dinah was embraced when there were actually cars, so, like...
You're like, I'm not getting in the car with these two ancient men.
Hey, there's a reason I never drive. Like, I know how to do it. I try and avoid it at all costs.
I mean, Dinah didn't know how to drive. Like, cars
You're
are
like,
only for
go
rich people
okay.
in the 20s, alright? Like...
Yay! Abraham probably doesn't know the difference.
Don't ruin the transmission.
Yeah, you newfangled, you kids with your newfangled technologies like your fax machines and your hula hoops.
You kids and your assembly lines and your Model Ts.
Yeah. So do you guys think we're in trouble?
Yes.
No,
Yes, I do.
no.
In fact,
We are not in any sort of trouble.
we are in
whatsoever.
all the trouble in the world, and I'm kind of excited about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Like, it's fun to be the rebels.
For sure.
Wow. One day more.
Demon. Another day, another destiny.
It's fun having elders who have never played elders before.
Right? We keep doing dumb shit because we, like, can.
But Coz was like testing the waters a bit, like, how mad would the prince be if I didn't show up right away? And I was like, well, not as bad as a neonate ignoring his orders, but it's still the prince.
Well, see, I've known the prince for
I
so
think
long.
he's
I'm
really
like,
bad.
I would know the boundaries, and I do have 3 or 4 ag damage and a gaping wound in my chest, Theo kind of wants to go home and deal with that for a minute.
Bjorn is in a little bit of a sense where he's like, I kind of just want to go hang out with the Sembeti right now. What's the Baron up to? Hey, Theo. What's Baron up
Theo,
to?
can you like
I
Instagram your
suddenly
wounds?
want to be not in New Orleans for a minute. This is wow.
Hey, you got that apartment in New York.
And San Francisco. Which one do we want to go to? Or was it LA? I can't remember if it's San Francisco or LA.
Hey,
One
Theo.
of the two.
Hey, Theo.
Yeah.
I have no clue what's going on. Don't make me regret letting this guy go away.
Oh no. Well, he said to Dinah, I mean, that's why he told Dinah specifically, like, it seems like you're on to something, because this guy flat out was like, I don't trust what the prince is doing here, and he's somehow involved. Theo wasn't going to let him go, and the second he said that, he was like, all right, one, he knows Dinah fucking hates him, so he's like, all right, we'll try an olive branch here.
Yeah.
He's trying to be the bigger man. He's like, olive branch.
Yeah.
Plus, like, he also is like, yeah, I don't need a prince who's up to bullshit, who no one can trust. We don't need that. So
Yeah.
he's basically going to give her Garrett's number and be like,
Yeah.
you need to...
And I solidly, I'm like, I trust Theo. Like, he does some crazy shit, but like, bottom, like end of the line, I trust him. Hope he does not make me regret that trust, because right now all I know is that a dude just escaped from the prince from a mass embrace bullshit scenario.
Yeah, I mean, Theo's usually good with calculated calls. Plus, like, the fact that he basically said exactly what Dinah said hit him funny. He was like, fuck, okay, here we go. Because, like, one person, it's like, oh, you're just crazy. The prince is up to whatever normal prince shenanigans. Now you have, like, an embedded spy. It's like, all right, shit, something's probably going wrong here.
This whole thing just felt fishy to me. To Dinah in particular. Just
Well, yeah.
like,
Wait,
And, like,
fishy?
he was kind
Welcome
of
to
playing it off.
VTM. If it isn't fishy, I'm not doing it right.
Yeah, but, like, he was kind of, like, playing off Dinah, like, maybe, maybe not, but we have no real reason. And now it's like, okay, that's fucking, like, that can't be a coincidence.
Yeah, she
we need to
wasn't
figure
sure.
this out.
she kicked this nest because she wanted to see what would happen. It would bring out some, like, hitches in the whatever their plan was, if there was a plan.
Well, I mean, it worked. We have a Garrett.
Yeah.
And a Hector. And a Luca, sort of.
I feel like Hector's not going to be as useful, and I'm worried we'll never see Luca again. Like, Luca will disappear into, like, a black site, and he's like, what, Luca? I don't know what you're talking about.
I was a little disappointed how quickly the princess people showed up, because Bjorn was totally like, I'm going to disappear with Luca now. Oh, princess people here. Fuck.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, That's why I asked Dinah and Abraham. I was like, are we just going to let this happen, or are we going to try to do something?
I was
Then
so
Dinah was like,
hoping.
no, no.
I was so hoping that Garrett would be the first one to walk out. I was so hoping. Because that was my plan since day one. Anybody other than Theo or Bjorn walks out, I'm telling them to sleep right off the bat.
Nice.
Because that still leaves them available, and, like, I'm not screwing someone over who doesn't deserve it, but it makes sure that I'm catching someone who does need to stay.
Yeah, it could have been hostage.
That's why when Spirit was like, you hear a thump upstairs, Theo was like, fuck, that's obvious. I should have caught that.
No, Zavani actually said, I was like, good point. Alright, swinging back into it.
Hey,
Luther,
it's up to Cal.
Luther and Rebecca, you're heading to the plantation. Let me know if you guys want to banter for a minute in the car, or if you just want to jump to there. I mean, you guys...
I picked the wrong time to start eating hot dogs.
I'm so sorry. You'll get a break again in a minute. You guys are going to be there first, time-wise.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have anything that you would say to Luther?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah. Fuck yeah, I would say some shit to Luther.
So, I don't know, scale of 1 to 10, how bad is this gonna be?
Well, I don't really know. It could be, What are you asking? Are you saying like you're gonna get in some kind of trouble with the prince? I mean, what is he gonna do to you?
I don't know. What is he gonna do? What can he do?
Nothing. We slightly disobeyed his orders, and they I don't know how we're gonna exactly explain it, but I don't know. What's he gonna do? Kick us out? Do a blood hunt? Like there's too many.
What's a blood hunt?
Oh, well, it's kind of like a communal gathering, but then we hunt down a kindred, and usually ends in his death.
What is it, like a potluck communal gathering?
Yeah, everyone has to be involved. It can't just be like this person. Everyone of kindred has to kind of join in.
Sure. Sure, of course.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. I shouldn't use terms like that. But yes, it's it's kind of like a ringing a big bell saying everyone has to go after a man and kills him.
All right, so the problem I'm seeing is that you said that like it was a trivial thing. That sounds, and if I may be frank, excuse my French, fucking terrifying.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what's for that to happen to you, you would have to go out and try and make it public knowledge that you know vampires and that we are something that is real. And then maybe he would call a blood hunt against you, and all of us would have to go, and we would have to murder you, and it would be a very sad day. But sometimes this is what we do.
Yeah, no, excuse me, just 1 second. And she is going to look at Tuna and take Tuna's collar off and then just shove that in her pocket.
He'll kind of turn and smile. Rebecca, we are not going to do that to you. It's something that is very rare and something that you have to do against our kind, and you don't seem to be the type to do that.
All right, so what exactly is a step below every vampire in the city goes out and tries to murder you?
I would imagine it would be like a banning from the city or something like that. Maybe you just you're not allowed in this territory anymore. You gotta move on.
Just to help out, yeah, Luther, you were actually right. Basically, it's like if blood hunt is like, you're gonna be killed because you did something terrible enough. Below is usually exile, like from the city, like I can't have you messing up my stuff. And then like below that will usually be more like boons. Like, now you did something wrong, so you're gonna owe me doing this thing. Vampires work heavily on favors. With the idea of like, hey, you don't do this, you get one of those other two.
That or you owe the prince a favor. So, I mean, nothing too bad, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. No, of course. Nothing too bad.
I mean, come on. He had to owe me a favor, and all I did was just ask for a bodyguard. Like, come on, it's not that bad.
Okay, I don't think I can afford a bodyguard on retainer, so...
I would imagine he would ask you to do something a little bit more magical-like.
Yeah, no, that's why... Well, I've got Tuna's collar, so if anything goes wrong, I've got a plan.
There's a way for us to kind of get out of it. I told the prince that I would try and stop you guys or something along the sort, and what if my message just never got to you in time? Maybe you guys just went in without knowledge that the prince said that he didn't want you to.
Sure. I mean, I'd love to see how this pans out. Sure, let's just...
Well, it either pans out with him believing me and everyone's off the hook, or he doesn't believe me and then I'm in the same shit house as all you are in.
All right. Well, I appreciate your candor and sharing. I'm just gonna sit in silence now, if that's all right.
That's quite all right. And we'll just keep on driving.
Yeah, a little bit longer of an exciting but well-managed drive. Luther gets himself and Rebecca to Marcel's old plantation haven, mansion kind of thing. He's been here a few times already, so he knows to just pull up. There's basically sort of a valet system. He walks inside with Rebecca in tow. I'm gonna assume Rebecca's taking Tuna.
She absolutely is.
The few people who help out with the valet and open the door look a little confused, but don't say anything. They know people are arriving. Once you get inside, there is a younger man dressed in like a very stylish, but obviously sort of butler outfit, and says, I was told there was quite a number coming. Is it just you two?
For right now, do I know this man? Do I know him by name?
No.
Okay. For right now, it's just us. The others will be coming when they get. God damn it, Kiki. When they get here.
Oh, understood. Please wait here. And he waves to like a small sitting room that actually has like couches and tables and everything. Please wait here. I will inform the prince of your arrival, but he wishes to speak to everyone at once.
Of course, yeah.
Before that Tuna down and kind of give her just a gentle push, kind of hoping to discreetly encourage her to wander.
Now, she's a familiar, so she's a smart kitty, but she's still an animal. Anyone who doesn't have basically the merit, like animal kinship, animals don't like vampires, so she is keeping cool, but you can see like just that single strip of hair like bristling along her spine. Just like not a full hair up, just a little mohawk, just kind of like, this place is full of dead people. Alright, so you two find yourselves a seat in the nearby sitting room.
I'm gonna send a text message to the group just saying like, you guys haven't heard, or you guys didn't hear from me since the hospital. I'm just gonna explain my plan of being like, you guys never got my text message saying don't go in there.
Okay. You send that to the group back at the warehouse. You guys have we'll say we just arrived, they get that text. So Theo, Bjorn, Abraham, Dinah, with Hector in tow, trying to figure out cars. You all get the group text from Luther.
There was a text message not to go to the warehouse? When did that happen?
What did the message say?
I feel like you called them. You didn't text.
Luther.
I don't remember if I
Luther,
called Dinah.
Theo's phone. You called Theo's phone. Rebecca answered. She got the message. Said K, and then.
Wait,
So
no,
Bjorn
Dinah
and I-
called you asking for backup, and then you said don't do it.
Either way, he's just saying like that whole conversation never happened.
Never got it.
Wasn't able to get a hold of you.
I did not realize we were not supposed to be here.
Oh, Elvish, could you tell me that Dinah is doing that in character? Just sassily brushing her hair.
Got I guess, sure. I mean, she's got a weave.
I just really love that. That would be the just.
Kind of puts her fingers through her hair and it's like, alright. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't need to change my story. I was never told not to come here. I showed up and cleaned up a situation. I don't need to change my story.
What happened to me as well? So this is on you. I do not. I will tell what happened. This does not seem to conflict with whatever he is messaging.
Are you saying this in character? Or are you texting this in accent?
No.
I'm
talking.
The four of
We're
us
talking.
are talking at our cars.
Wasn't
yeah,
I separate from you guys though?
No. This is when we're about to decide who's going.
Oh, we're about to. Okay.
Yeah.
We're about to decide.
Driving. Okay.
I do not.
Hey, in the meantime, can Rebecca and Luther play rock, paper, scissors? It doesn't. We don't have to RP this. I just mean, they're waiting for.
You can do it on camera if you want.
So I think it'd be best if Abe, you went ahead with Dinah here. Me and Theo have a few things to discuss on the drive, so it makes sense for him to ride with me on the way to the princess.
I suppose did you bring a car, Dinah?
Rebecca gave me her keys. She
Oh.
took me over here.
Oh, was that when you were over there doing whatever it was you were doing? What is it you were doing over there?
Well, we found a camera, and they don't seem to know who it belongs to.
And you didn't bring it back?
No, Rebecca suggested that it might be from our previous troublemakers, and hence might have some kind of tracking something on it, and so didn't want to touch it.
Perhaps we tell the prince's men, so that if someone were to come get it.
Hold on. We did just let someone run away, and we're not planning on telling the prince. I'd rather not give him video evidence of that, as much as I like ruffling his skirts.
You make a valid point. So
Can we hide it?
Well, the problem is
already-
going to... Oh, wait, are there any of the princes? None of the princes men are up here, yes?
No, they're all downstairs. They have not resurfaced. They are taking care of the bodies. Jake stayed down there with... No, he did leave, but he didn't actually come back outside with you guys. You guys haven't seen him yet.
All right. So do we hide it from whoever left it there in the first place?
Why didn't they destroy it, Dinah?
Because we didn't know who it belongs to.
Well, I guess. I mean, all I'm wondering is how worried do we have to be about the prince finding out about Garrett?
Yes, if it might perhaps be the prince's camera. He did say he was scouting this location out. And then we have naughty evidence.
And I'd rather the prince not find Garrett, because I'm curious now.
I am as well. But I'm afraid of touching it also. I don't know what any of these, if it is more of a mage thing, I don't know what that might do.
Can we call Rebecca? Maybe she would know? Because
Sure.
I
It sounds
guess
like
we
she
hadn't
got
really
what-
done anything wrong when she was here.
I'll give her a call. Hey, Becca, you phone
Hello?
ringing.
I was waiting for someone to say ring. I didn't, I'm not going to go until it's time.
Ring,
to
ring, baby girl.
I like to think
Please
that's
be the
actually
actual
Rebecca.
ringtone.
Yeah, that's the Rebecca. Ring, ring, baby girl.
Ring, baby girl. Hey, so we think that that camera you found might maybe have something that we don't particularly want the upper management to see. Is there a way we can maybe dispose of it?
Don't touch it.
Wow. Okay.
Don't. Whatever you do, do not touch it.
What's she saying?
You're very worried about this.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I know that. Just. I know that maybe the contents are something that we need to figure out how to handle it without touching it.
Okay. But we can't touch it with a stick. Either.
No. I'm sorry.
I mean,
You know what? I'm gonna give you a little thing, Rebecca.
Nice.
You shut up. You at least picked up. It wasn't so much that the touching was. You got those warnings every time one of you talked about removing it.
Okay, sorry, no, because like. So she
When,
tried to
when
get
you
the cat
talked
to
when you were gonna like grab it and take it yourself, you got the breeze. When Luther was talking about why don't we just take it, it's not connected to anything, you got the second breeze. It was always a talk about like actually removing it.
Except for
from
that
areas.
time when the wind sighed.
Well, yeah, the wind side, because like she wanted to just turn the camera into the bushes and like the wind side.
Oh, I thought you kept saying something about knocking it. I thought you meant like to knock it out of the bush,
No,
like you
just
can't
turn
touch
the
it.
lens.
Okay, I will still hold by the sigh. They were just kind of like, just leave it. But I'm gonna say, like, with your intuition, with your avatar and your familiar, it was every time you specifically talked about removing it from the bush.
Okay. As long as you can leave it there, just don't. If you want to study it or something, or try to see if you can get some knowledge about it. But
Just tell her there's incriminating
just
evidence.
try to not. Just don't move it. Don't remove it.
Incriminating evidence on it.
Well, okay, well, if you guys can get to the evidence without removing it.
That would be the intention of getting it, would be to remove. How?
Okay, you know, if you want to, I'm not your mom. You can do it at your own risk. I'm telling you what is good to do and what is not good to do.
Sorry, I was filling my
unwise to
face. I was
remove-
filling my face with liquids. When you say like you could look but don't move, you get a very soft little sigh on your neck.
I don't know if I don't know if you can remove it. Just or look at it. Just know that you're treading shaky ground here.
Can we
All right,
burn it?
all right. I was just. So don't touch it. Don't burn it. Don't poke it with the stick. Nothing.
You can touch it. Just don't remove it. Don't destroy it.
Okay.
Well, there
Alright,
goes
I
Garrett.
guess it's staying
no,
there.
no.
What? Yes.
I am not great with these things. Can we? Does it still have tape? Can we rewind and record over?
Is it digital or tape?
I mean,
Rebecca.
can't they just look at it?
No, I'm good. Luther can hear your conversation, right?
Yeah.
Alright, give me 1 second.
He's a kitty.
The youngest one of us was around long before these were even a thing. Theo's like, what does the magic seeing eye box do?
I have a
Alright,
kitty.
neither of you have technology, but I will allow a perception roll at difficulty 9. No botch, it's just whether you get it or not, if you notice certain things. Pass or fail. Which I think more people should do. There are certain roles it's just like, you just get it or you don't.
Nah.
No.
Who's rolling
No,
this?
I don't get it. I think it's me and you, Luther.
Yeah,
I'm-
you don't
I'm
have
sorry.
technology, you didn't really know much about this thing, so like, I just want to see if you
Rolling.
noticed a thing you might have picked up on, but perception at 9. No botches. Pass or fail.
0.
Oh, so close.
Oh.
Alright. I'm gonna give you this, only because, like, you would have noticed. You saw a couple ports on the side of the power brick, but you have no idea what they mean. Could just be charging, could be anything.
Wait, hold on. I saw it too. Let me.
Oh yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Dinah.
you guys are all.
Hey!
I
That's
thought
what
you
I
guys were
rolled. I'm like,
calling
we're there.
about it in front of it.
Yeah, are they in front of it right now, or are they
Right? That's why I'm like, why don't they just
Right.
look?
of
But
the
I saw it with you. But
Yeah, so
I don't have any
perception-
dots in technology either.
I
so
was
what
only
that
thinking because,
roll?
like, they were the ones, like, up in the bush, and you, like, walked over, like, what are you guys doing? But yeah, totally, if you did take a look at the power brick.
What was that roll?
Perception at 9, but pass fail.
while she's doing like on the phone, I guess. But
No.
can we hire like a
Abraham!
tech geek to come erase it? We're leaving it there though.
She just said, "Don't touch it." That's all I can tell you.
Can,
No,
like,
sorry.
a
She said
guy
you
like
can
that-
touch it.
Juju
She said you
feeling.
can touch it. She said,
Just don't take it.
yeah, she said don't remove it. She said you can touch it.
Yeah. The euphemism phrase being "don't touch it." Yes.
No, like she
Rebecca!
went back and corrected and said don't remove it. You can touch it.
He's gonna like kind of like yell towards into the phone. Can we like hire a guy to erase it?
No, sure.
Take
She's gonna wait for wind for like a few seconds. Like just throw caution to the wind.
Sorry, wait. What was the question you're waiting to hear from?
He said, "Can we hire a tech guy to remove it?" And she like thinks for. She's gonna wait and see
We
if
hire
she's
a guy
got.
to erase it, but leave it physically here and working. But just delete the tape.
Tuna is going to give you a full, just slightly like annoyed head drop.
I have no goddamn idea, Theo. Tuna doesn't like the idea. Okay.
Like a cat.
I'm gonna get blood hunt for a fucking cat. Great. Rebecca could hear him say that.
Yeah, no, she's and she'll just. I'm not any of your moms. You can do whatever you want. Just I'm letting you know what's a good idea and what's a bad idea.
Ugh, look, she was right about the tracking thing. Let's just. We're already throwing caution to the wind here. Let's just do what we can.
All right. Well, let's hope it's not the princess.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. How did she notice it? I'm curious.
How did you notice that?
I can't tell you.
You can't tell us. Let's-
Okay. Did you see it? And that is what drew you to it.
Did you see it? And that's what drew you to it? I'm just repeating Abraham, honey. Don't blame me.
I'm thinking. No.
So basically, if we leave it here, and it doesn't,
Sorry.
if we leave it here and it does not belong to the prince, what are the chances he would notice it? Like I'm making sure it does not have a blinking red light or something.
I found it by chance, basically. I don't know
Then
that he would
let's
find
not
it.
bring it up.
Okay.
For now.
Then if we can leave it there, I suppose.
I don't like it either. This is what we got.
All right. Our heads are in your hands, Rebecca.
I don't like that, but okay.
So do we lie to the prince or come clean on Garrett? This is to present company now. No,
Right,
Rebecca.
she's just
Thank
waiting
you,
on the-
Rebecca.
Okay,
I
bye.
suppose.
I'm okay sticking my neck out, but I'm not too worried. We could always say he thought he might be a leader, lead us somewhere, and then he summoned us to a stupid meeting and ruined the whole plan.
If we have to, yeah. It's not a bad idea.
If he finds out. Let's really hope he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're right, he's in on it, and it won't be good.
I don't know if he's in on it specifically, but some aspect of this feels off.
And Garrett definitely agreed with you. And was real scared of meeting the prince, so...
Oh, for once I agree with you, Theo.
So then we keep quiet about him?
Agreed.
I like it.
Less directly asked.
I won't say anything even then.
Alright, well, let's go get our asses handed to us, proverbially. Maybe literally. Let's see.
I
I
think
hope
Bjorn and
not.
I are gonna stop off for a drink. I'm gonna, like, tap the hole in my chest.
Yeah, you don't look so good. You get that taken care of, honey.
Do send the prince our regards and let him know that we might be a little late, but we'll try not to tarry too long.
Yes, of course.
And break.
When When Rebecca gets off the phone, everything all right?
They want to poke at the camera.
Why? I thought the prince is just gonna get his hands on it. Like, why are we dealing with it?
I have no idea.
We did tell you we didn't want the prince to find it.
No one has mentioned it to him or
Yeah,
anyone
Well,
who
no, I'm
would
saying
tell
Rebecca
him.
would know
No,
that not to mention.
I just said to Luther, maybe we shouldn't mention it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like the people who showed up, they didn't know about it. It's just Rebecca, Luther, Dinah, and well, I mean the
Just
whole
the
crew at this point.
gang!
It's just the gang.
Just a quo.
Maybe we shouldn't mention it. I don't.
Couple guys.
They're
Just a
really
couple of
worried
guys.
about getting in trouble for. Goddamn.
I don't understand how we're gonna get in. All right, whatever. That's
They're really
okay.
worried about what's on it, and we don't know who it belongs to.
I mean, we left. We have no idea what happened after we left. So sure.
So maybe if we can keep this knowledge from the prince, if he finds that that's
Yeah, I understand. You'll kind of like look around, like we're,
she's
you know, it's
trying to say this as low as possible,
For sure.
but like,
you'll just be like, yeah, don't, yes.
draw 4.
Oh, please.
Okay, so at this point, Bjorn and Theo are gonna head off. Theo can lick his wounds a little bit, but Dinah and Abraham are gonna go meet Rebecca and Luther at the plantation. Alright, now, Luther and Rebecca were told they're gonna wait until the rest arrive. So Abraham and Dinah, you have your ride. Jess, as always, I want to ask if you have any specific thing you want to talk about, or if you're going to be a little bit more of a small talk to quiet ride.
Yeah, it's solidly a small talk to quiet.
Cool. Alright, so Dinah, I think, is driving. You pull up to the plantation. Similar to Luther and Rebecca, someone takes care of your car. You're escorted in very cordially. It feels almost like a different time period, the way things work around here. And once you're whisked inside, you see the well-dressed butler who greeted Luther and Rebecca, also greets you. Welcome. Thank you for coming. I believe you are some of the individuals summoned by the prince. Could I have your names?
I'm Dinah. Williamson. I may have a slightly sensitive guest that I'm not sure exactly the procedure of whether I should bring him in on that, but I don't want to leave him unsupervised.
I imagine you'd keep him with you. He looks a little dancy. The butler doesn't. He was only told a small group of kindred were arriving, so he shakes his head. No, that should be fine. Please, if you would, and he points to the sitting room where you can already see Rebecca and Luther playing card games. Have a seat for a moment. I will let the prince know that you have arrived.
What? What? No, I'm. This is in character. What? Why are you? What?
To the butler?
No, I'm to Rebecca and Luther who are playing
Playing Uno?
Okay, you said you just started making noises. You didn't say at anyone. I'm like,
apologize.
to the butler, to Dinah.
I apologize for that.
You're fine, but I was like,
Nope. And so just on time, husband brought me a pair of PSA playing cards for the scene.
nice.
This one talks about safe lifting. All I'm saying. I'm sorry. These are really dumb and I like them.
I mean, we didn't know how long
Hang on one
everything was
second.
going
Talk amongst yourselves now. They're all in
to
the room.
Abraham. Also, we are adults, and if this is what we want to do, this is what we want to do. And then he'll put a card down.
Well, who is winning?
I'm sorry. I don't. Did you want us to sit in silence?
No, I said. Well, who is winning?
I am.
According to him.
We can roll for it if you like.
She's like, No, like, she says according to him, but like she's drawing 4 cards as she speaks, like she's frustrated.
Where is the rest of the party?
You understand, Bjorn and Abraham. I'm sorry, not Bjorn and Abraham. Bjorn and Theo. They
I'll be along
They are a
presently.
bit hungry. They are a bit hungry.
Oh.
Things got a bit out of hand, so they have to solve that problem first.
Abraham, everything's all right, right?
Oh, yes, it is. I just, there were injuries sustained, and they want to make sure that they don't frenzy in the middle of the prince's house.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. You can see he looks like a little bit worried and uncomfortable at the thought of enough blood loss and injuries that they might frenzy in front of the prince. Well, I'm not sure if the prince is going to make us wait until they come or if we're just going to get this started.
I suppose we wait and find out.
All right, then. I guess I can deal all of you in.
I do not know the rules, but I suppose I can always learn.
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Or we don't.
Or we don't. But who cares?
Either way, what can we do about it at this point?
Run screaming. I like run screaming.
Run screaming is a good plan. I like that plan.
I do not like this plan. I am very bad at least half of these things.
Spira is one of the butlers around.
Sorry. You don't see one right away, but as you guys like continue to chat a little bit, Rebecca and Luther are still like kind of playing card games, not video games. The same butler arrives again. Huh?
Oh no!
Krasnak! Porque?
His Wi-Fi dropped on the laptop, so...
The brand new one? No.
Yeah, the brand new one. Like, you know, you
So
spend
I
all
think
that money.
Hey,
How did this
In the
like
meantime-
perfectly cut me out? Oh, there I am.
how about I encourage you all to think twice about anabolic steroids?
Thank you. That was something I've been struggling with personally.
Alright, so I get to be half of Abraham.
Alright, alright, I'm gonna resize the things for now. We'll see if he gets back.
I think I just got shorter.
Alright, real quick. Alright, I'm
My
gonna move
chin
forward.
And my boobs are Theo. Like I'm down.
My boobs are Theo. I feel like Theo would be okay with that. Be like, yeah, for once in my life. I'm just gonna give him 2 seconds. I always have that feeling of like I don't want to like start resizing the windows if some come right back, and then I have to do it again, or like, oh no, is it gonna be like 10 minutes? Then I'll do it. Okay, actually, because Theo might not be back in the game the rest of the night, we'll just resize. Huh? Yeah.
What's the number?
I'm enjoying being invisible.
1
It's
second.
fun. No one knows where I am.
Spooky!
Oh hey, I found a Koznak.
Hey!
Oh my god, everybody's back in the normal place. Fun.
I missed you, Koznak.
Magic.
Well,
Thank you, Rebecca.
It does it in order of who joins last, and I think he joined last when we loaded up, so. Anyway, The butler arrives, where Abraham, Luther, Rebecca, and Dinah are sitting in the sitting room, and he explains that the prince is ready to see them and will escort them to a larger sitting room, much more nicely adorned, much more seating, a large mantel fireplace in the back of the room, paintings and planted flowers, and while there's like a nice tile floor, there are expensive rugs thrown about, just obviously showing the amount of wealth he's gained over his years as both a human and a kindred.
As he walks us in, I'll ask for a drink if he could spare one.
The butler nods and then looks at the other members of the group if they would like the same.
Yes, so that would be
Dinah will accept.
nice. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I am mistaken because, Ventru, I forget about this.
If it's blood bag stuff, you're okay. It's
well
not
then.
it's not as satisfying,
Alright, cool.
but you're okay to take blood bags. It's mainly
Cool.
it goes along those lines of the fact that, like, if you only drink blood bags long enough, you'll frenzy because you need fresh stuff. But your fresh stuff has to be along your exclusion. But you
Cool.
you can have some blood bags.
In that case, I would love to top off what I lost this morning waking up.
Sure. Yeah, no, the idea is supposed to be that, like, it loses its essence as soon as it goes cold and isn't from the human. So, in the room, seated already in one sort of love seat length kind of chaise lounge, is Marcel, and he has seated next to him Karen Chantry. She is another venture of the city, and as I've said before, this city doesn't usually follow a lot of the normal rules. There's no seneschal, there's no official sheriff or harpy or primogen, just basically prince and the people the prince trusts. But Karen would be like kind of the closest to a harpy. So she is always at any meeting Marcel has with kindred where, there's going to be some serious discussion of conduct to sort of assess why and how these things happened and how these kindred are going to be seen going forward.
Can you mute your Zoom maybe, because I can hear? Oh wait, shit! No, that was Spira just talking. I thought that straight up.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. The dogs are playing Simba and Mufasa in the background.
$10 on the fluffy one.
Sorry,
I'll
the
take that
rain, rain makes them go insane.
Oh yeah, they fucking love rain. It's been raining super hard for the last 4 hours.
Nope, I heard Spira talking and the dogs playing, and I only saw them on Kasa's screen, and I don't know, my brain just.
No, it's fine. No, they were literally doing the end of the Lion King on the bed. Just that big clash arms. That's how they play.
Alright.
So, you're escorted in. The butler takes Abraham's order. Did anyone else want someone? Or Luther?
I think, yeah, everyone
wants him, and the butler nods and walks away. Marcel graciously points to the seat that is across from him. There's actually a couple seats. There's a single chair, a two-seater, and then another chair. So you have room to spread out a bit.
I'm taking the most comfy looking seat.
They're similar, but they're all very nice. Little old, so not as fluffy as some people might like, but nice material. Good wood. Once you're all seated, Marcel was kind of leaning forward for a moment, but then leans back against the seat he shares with Karen and sighs. He looks first to Luther. Luther, can you please explain what happened tonight, as I had been quite clear, I thought, in that no people were to move forward with this warehouse business.
Yeah, well, in haste, after finding out the information that we received from, I forget the guy's name, the guy from the hospital, they moved a little bit quicker than I was expecting, and I wasn't able to exactly I wasn't able to intervene as quickly as I was hoping when we had our talk, and they were able to go right in, and by the time I got there to try and stop anything, it had already been too late. I can make a roll for lying too if I need to. I feel like I do.
Let's do that for fun. Hold on. So yeah, I am actually happy with either charisma or manipulation, but the ability will be subterfuge.
What's my target?
6.
12.
Yeah, just totally.
You have to
literally
you have to roll a 10 and then
Literally
explode at least
impossible.
2. No, you have to roll a 10 and then explode at least 2 to get a single success.
Then you
I
have
mean,
to
that could be a
use it
fun,
for
tricky
God. Any
dynamic.
god is fine.
So my poker face stuff went pretty well. I got
Holy
7
shit.
successes.
Okay. Marcel absolutely believes that, like, because he understood when you told him people were heading to the place, but, like, you weren't involved, then you follow up with the fact that, like, I tried to reach them and I couldn't. He totally understands just the concept of, like, if they were already engaged in a fight or something, they weren't looking at their phones or might not have even had them on them. He feels for Luther, realizes, like, you and had actually, I think he rolled earlier to realize that Luther was serious, like, no, I will make sure this doesn't happen. So he feels for Luther right now, and he goes, alright, I understand that. Now he pulls his gaze over to Abraham and Dinah and Rebecca. Now, I need your side of this story.
Bjorn and I and a friend of his, I do not remember her name, we were doing a separate thing. Oh shit, how did we actually get in on this? Like, okay.
The one ghoul you found gave you the information about the warehouse.
Yes, Bjorn and I were doing something unrelated and made our way over to this other warehouse, by which time things had already begun, and to prevent things from getting worse, we had to play along. I didn't even know it was happening until after it was all done.
That's one part. Now, and he looks over to the ladies.
Me and Rebecca drove to the warehouse just to look around.
Hey, real quick, sorry, Elvish, can you lean a little more toward her? Yeah, you sound a little better when you lean that way a bit.
Sorry, I don't have like a bar. I just have it like on my desk, my mic on my desk. So
Just like when you lean
I need
that
to buy
way,
one of
you
those
sound
bars that
so
like
much
puts it
better.
right. I need it
Yeah.
like in my
You're good,
because it's
you're
right
good.
there. But yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay. Rebecca and I drove there, trying to follow up on some information we had learned before, and we wanted to see what kind of security it looked like it had, and it looked like it didn't have as much as we had been expecting. So we went ahead and went in.
Marcel looks like he's not exactly breathing steadily, but he takes a just kind of a natural breath in and breathes out, and he looks to Rebecca.
We heard about what was happening in the warehouse and decided to pursue, not realizing the gravity, but once things were in motion.
They were taking people, and we didn't want more people to be hurt. It was an opportunity.
Of course. I want this sorted as quickly as possible with the least amount of casualties, problems, whatever may come, but... And he looks at Dinah. I told you I had some men looking into the scene. What made you think that I wasn't going to make a move?
It had been an oddly long and quiet amount of time. Not that I misbelieved you, I was afraid of the potential consequences of not moving quickly, what with the more recent kidnappings that we interfered with.
Dinah, I greatly appreciate your fervor on the topic, the situation. I understand it seemed a slow response potentially, but before this night, from some of the details I've gathered, there were a couple humans. My scouts who had been coasting the area and watching closely had not seen anything particular. We were just trying to gather details on who we might be able to find in the city responsible and related. So I was only concerned on such a brash reaction without my knowledge. Do you understand my concern as prince of the city, not knowing that that such a problematic situation was dealt with without my knowledge?
Yes, sir. However, we did learn a few things. I don't know how much you already knew about it or not, but I apologize if I'm being redundant.
Well, he waves a hand, and Karen, sitting next to him, has been quiet. She's just been smoking a cigarette, kind of waiting for anything she's needed for, almost as like just secondary counsel, and like very much like a harpy, just watching. But he waves a hand. Please, what did you find? Maybe if you found anything extra than what my scouts have so far, it could be useful.
They hold auctions for the people that they grab. They drain kindred and kind and sell them to be drained.
Hector, who is standing quietly, patiently, obediently behind you, gets a panicked look on his face, but doesn't say anything else. The prince, you can see him make note of it, but then nods at you and says, "That is quite alarming, but revolutionary, honestly."
Revolutionary?
Yes, sorry.
What?
No, revelationary. Like a revolution.
Okay, that's
That's what I wanted. I was like,
completely different thing.
yes!
Reaction there.
Yeah, because revolutionary is, that's a good idea.
Yeah, no. Revolutionary, like, that's a like, oh, Jesus, that's what they're doing? So, yeah. He actually, he had been leaning forward in a slightly more intimidating interview fashion, but now leans back with a little more of an air of interest and wants to speak with you and learn some more. Just a note. Hey, Luther, you're here if you want to add anything. You don't have to. You could be chill. Just want to remind people where they are, because sometimes they go, "Oh, I am in this scene."
No, I know I'm in the scene. He's just, everyone else is being interrogated. He's just hoping no one fucks us up.
I actually know that totally fits you. You're like, not me.
Hey, can I totally fuck this up real quick?
Hey, yeah,
Absolutely. Anytime you want.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. Could you I don't know, share what exactly were you doing to survey the area?
Did you say mare?
Yes, she
Yeah.
did.
He said to her before that he was more of a mayor.
He sighs a little bit, but keeps his composure and says, I had some scouts wander the area earlier this evening. They noticed that there were some individuals inside, but I had commanded them to not make any direct actions just as yet until we found out more, and my next set of plans was to... He sighs again a little bit. Was trying to decide if it was best to move in quickly or slowly. I care about the humans that are being affected by this, and the kindred, of course. But there is a far different end of action that can come from running into a situation you think is simple and crude and finding out it is the smallest puppet in the act of something much larger, versus finding out information quietly and slowly and then destroying the whole act at once.
All right.
Okay.
I appreciate your
Candor?
caution and candor. Yes.
And Marcel, with all this new information, is there something that we can do for you? Obviously, there was some pretty bad miscommunication in this whole situation, but if there's anything we can do to repay our hastiness, I'm sure we have no problem doing so.
Karen, sitting next to him, takes a long drag on a cigarette she has. A dark paper-wrapped cigarette with a very kind of clove and ginger smell. Takes a puff and lets it out. Was there anyone else with you at this warehouse? Is this just the whole gang?
No.
Yes,
As we said,
Abraham
Theo and Bjorn
I'm sorry,
were with
Theo
us.
and Bjorn, but they were the brunt of the fight, so they have taken a moment away to
They'll
refresh
be
their
along
injuries.
presently.
I called Jacob for help, so I believe he should be back at the warehouse.
You see her, like, almost in a calculating move, fold her legs. Just,
I'm sorry, I don't think I got your name.
Oh! Karen. And she fully stands up to walk across the good 4 feet between the couches to shake your hand. I have heard a bit about you. I believe your name's Rebecca. And you are one of the city's, very interesting others. And she makes like a small little, like, kind of half quote with her fingers. Oh, darling, I meant no offense. I mean, not human, exactly.
She still isn't responding.
Karen takes a couple steps back, sits down, and doesn't seem fazed.
So
You're
But-
a vampire? She will finally ask.
Oh, Karen? Are you asking Karen? Hope I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Yes.
Okay. She nods with a big, toothy smile.
What kind?
I'm gonna kind of do one of these numbers and, poorly try and hide a grin, just watch this play itself out.
She, while still holding the medium past smoked cigarette, like, half-smoked cigarette, puts her arms over the couch that her and Marcel are sitting on and says, "My kind are known as Ventru. Do you know what we are, sweetie?"
You're the kind that has a type, right?
She giggles almost like a little excitedly, like she kind of likes this almost like a game. She's like, yes. No, all of us, we need that blood to live, but my kind's a little extra picky.
Okay.
At that, Marcus, not, physically pushes her back, but just kind of makes, an arm movement of, this is another conversation. He looks at the four in front of him. Well, I believe you have all been forthcoming, despite how much I would have preferred this to have gone a different way. He starts rubbing his forehead a little, just obviously some anxiety running through him. It is getting very near dawn. I haven't heard from Bjorn or Theo. Wait, did you guys actually say something or just didn't show up?
We were coming back for the second half of this. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we were gonna show up just late. Yeah, we probably would have. Yeah, they said that we were. Yeah, we said leaking our rooms. I think the words.
Yeah, leaking. Yeah, I said they're making sure. Yeah, I don't remember my exact.
Ready, rewind.
Just rewind sound.
All right. At this point, Marcel says, "Let me change the picture."
He said, "Let me change the picture."
No, he didn't. I obviously use different voices for everything because I'm such a good voice actor. Anyway, Marcel says, you all seem forthcoming. You seem like you've explained your side of the situation, the details, and such. I have no reason to need any... He takes a moment to think. Decision to this evening, besides my current my current disinterest in how you reacted when I said don't go into this building. But you all dismissed. I will follow up with you shortly. He turns his head directly to Rebecca. Rebecca, you are still under the watch of Jake. As far as I understand, please do let me know if there are any problems you encounter with your,
in fact,
with the others involved with your type.
He was also there. He showed up. Did she? Well, then never mind. Gosh.
So, y'all are free to go unless you have anything else you want to say to the prince specifically.
Prince doesn't care about Hector? Alright, cool. Awesome. Not gonna say a damn thing.
He doesn't know who he is, so to him, it's just a ghoul or a herd. He doesn't really care.
Luther will quickly bow and make his way out of there.
Rebecca's gonna start. Did Tuna wander?
Yeah, I'll actually, while we get up, I'll kind of look at Hector, look at Dinah, quirk an eyebrow, and then get up if nobody says anything.
Dinah will kind of give him a I don't fucking know shrug.
So Tuna is with you? She went a little exploring the room, And then as far as you ever saw from Marcel or Karen, they kind of had that look that you've started to get to know from some kindred of like, I know animals don't like us, so like I'm not even gonna acknowledge it. Like they looked at it, like not like totally like it's not there, but like, oh, it's a cat, and I'm just gonna...
Alright, come on, Petunia. And
So-
she'll pick that sucker up and stick her under her arm.
So the four of you leave the plantation, and the valets arrive with your respective cars.
Right. I suppose where to next, Dinah? And also, we should probably discuss a certain individual.
Well, I suppose the excitement's over for the night. Here's your keys, Rebecca. Thank you.
How's the car?
It's nice. It's a car. And it's fine. And I didn't crash it.
Well,
I
thanks,
can agree.
really the-
She did not. She did a better job than I did.
You took turns?
No. When I drove the other day, or earlier today, I forget. Time is. I'm very old.
Feels like weeks ago.
When you get to be my age, Rebecca, time starts to blend together.
Okay.
Well, I suppose we could go our separate ways unless anyone wants to meet in particular.
I think.
I will say it's actually very close to more. Not like panic. Like I gotta get back to my haven, but like it's with it being heading closer to March, the time of the night is gonna be like you got a couple comfortable hours, then 2 awkward hours where you're like, let me finish up what I'm doing, go home. So if you guys don't have anything specific you want to do other than maybe grab a bite at a bar, you would probably be like, maybe head home.
Oh yes, but I do. We do need to discuss. I don't know how long your hold on.
It will end after tonight. I think.
Now let me explain
Oh,
again.
wait, no, I did roll for like a week.
Yeah.
No, hold on. You got such a good success on your entrancement. His entrancement's gonna hold for quite a while. But you also added a level of blood bond.
Yeah.
So the entrancement's gonna have that slowly fading effect where like they wanna do what you want. Like what they wanna help you. And not even like anyone you care about. Like if someone else says like, hey Dinah, we should do this, they don't give a shit. Unless Dinah says it, they're only like they don't care. They're gonna be interested in what Dinah wants.
Slowly replace that
But like
entrancement with
okay,
blood
so I'll say it's
within
like
the same time
if
frame.
Dinah wants something, it's like a really close friend that's like, yeah, that could be fun with entrancement. But you have first level blood bond, and as long as you keep them near and keep giving them blood over 3 more nights, well, 2 more nights, you'll get the full blood bond. But first already has them in that kind of mindset of like a little connected. So what I'm saying is, but actually, Dinah, you do need to decide where Hector's going.
Right? Oh my god.
Yeah. We
I
do
don't
need
wanna
to
let
say
him
that.
out of my damn sight.
Honestly, if you want to kind of think about it, we can end the game now, and you can tell me. But like before the next night starts, I need to know where he is. So if you want to think, I'm cool with that.
Rebecca is going to look to Abraham. It might be too late now, but do you want to meet tomorrow? Call it, and I'll buy you a drink. You can share that story with me.
Right. Yes. Tomorrow. Do you have a specific idea? Anything? No, of a kind of story.
Let me get to know you.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna go call it quits. I'll see you guys around. And Luther will just start walking away.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Theo would text the prince, probably after like a little bit of their meetings through, and just say, "Hey, it's getting early. Still licking our wounds. Can we just meet up tomorrow? Or can we just chat tomorrow? Or do I need to rush there?"
There's about at least like a 3-minute wait in between your text, but then the prince does reply, "Yes, but please, I need to speak with you and Bjorn."
He just won't answer.
Rude.
Just get Bjorn's seal of approval.
Alright, well, that will wrap up that final long-running session of New Orleans by Night. All of our characters have found out some more about, basically, well, last session they found out about this auction, but now they've got a couple extra details. They realized there were some Sabbat characters involved. They're very curious about the prince. They know there was actually a camera watching the site. They don't know who it belongs to, but at least Rebecca has a very confusing inkling that, like, she can't remove whoever it is watching the site just yet. So that's important. The prince is upset with them all running in, but understands the fervor and the missing the message. So we've got basically a mess on our hands that's slowly being cleaned up. Like, we don't have the best paper towels in the world, so we're just using extra. Like, we needed like 3 at a time, and then a couple more. Anyway, so thank you to everybody.
We're the generic brand next to like Bounty.
Yes, exactly. Like, instead of like cleaning this up quickly, you're like, oh no, it's sopping. It's not. Anyway. So, thank you to everybody who watches us live. Thanks to everybody who catches us later on the VODs, on Twitch, and everyone who watches us on YouTube. We really appreciate you guys coming out and watching our games. As I've said many times before, we would do this without you, but it's so much fun having you tag along with us and, you know, share your ideas and stuff. So, with all that, yeah, we love you guys. Thanks so much. We will see you Friday. Yes. So we will see you Friday for more D&D. Yeah. And then next week should be a full roster as far as I understand. Continue to follow us on Twitter, Discord, YouTube, subscribe, all those things. All the links are down below. Check them out. If you follow us there, you'll be able to find out if we ever are going to miss a game, and as soon as we announce that we are for sure going to play, you know, sucks being an adult with adult things to need to do, but yeah, so, love you all, and we will see you this Friday, and all of our games in the future. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.